Cutting through the bull in the post-truth apocalypse present the Star Wars Symposium.
Hello and welcome to Cutting the Ball, the post-truth apocalypse. I'm Ben, and as always I'm joined by Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello, and may the force be with you.
Hey!
Always.
And if you haven't guessed, then that leads us on to this week's topic, the Star Wars Symposium. We're going to talk about all things Star Wars. I have binge-watched the latest ones.
The Disney era.
With some trepidation, I must admit. I'd seen The Force Awakens. I've made it clear that I'm not really a fan of that movie, so that's why I hadn't watched them. And I was pleasantly surprised. So, but first, we'll start with a couple of weird news this week, because it's probably a bit of a lengthy episode. Let's see what we've got.
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
I literally filmed this 10 minutes before Gaz arrived. One-legged ghost child spotted hopping at the side of the road, screaming two words over and over again. This is in Thailand, I think.
With the two words, my leg, my leg.
Probably. It's probably in Taiwanese. We'll never know. Eerie footage has emerged of a one-legged ghost similar in appearance to the Gongoi from Thai mythology. Hang on, I've got to put my old man glasses on here. Sorry.
That's alright, it's quite understandable.
It's, I forgot.
Because your memory is also failing.
Because I also have dementia.
We're falling apart at the seams.
No, it's just I'm also quite hungover still. The video shows a child-sized creature hopping about at the side of a road in Thailand, illuminated by a car's headlights. The clip, originally uploaded to Facebook by Chanta Situluk, has been viewed nearly 4 million times and has generated quite the discussion, with a large number of people actually convinced it does show the infamous Gongoi. And there is a video at the top, we'll have a watch of that and the viewer can go and find it themselves. This is from the Mirror. So I don't know what the sound's like on this. And it took a while to load and I viewed it.
One-legged ghost boy. Okay, I think it just looks
Looks like a skunk to me.
Yeah.
It's definitely a
an
person.
animal. Or I was going to
But
say,
maybe
if it is a child, it looks like a child, not a ghost.
Yeah,
child.
it's a ghost, it's a kid.
It's just a kid hopping at the side of the road.
Stood on a landmine.
I think it's...
Allegedly.
a company that you may have invested in, allegedly. I think Mike's a secret landmine investor.
Well,
He invests in the landmines and he invests in the companies that make prosthetic limbs. He's just giving them the gift of
that's why I'm
surprise.
poor, isn't it? Aren't landmines banned now? Did Princess Diana get them banned when she died?
Yeah, but there's still fuck tons of them. Doesn't mean.
Yeah, I don't think they make any more, so
I think they do.
my business is kind of suffering a bit.
I think they.
I've got a warehouse full of 1 million landmines that are illegal.
Yeah, but it's like cluster bombs. If you're not in the Geneva Convention, it don't matter, does it?
There we go. Right then.
Well,
It's definitely hopping weirdly though. It wasn't. I didn't think that was. I'm not saying it's a ghost. I'm just saying it looked to me an unnatural hop.
yeah, well, even if it is a child late at night hopping down the side of a field, that's still slightly strange. Where are your parents?
Yeah.
You know, probably stood on a landmine.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Congo is a mythical child-sized ghost that lives in the woods and hops around rather than walking, similar to the hungry ghosts of Chinese mythology. Its name is said to come from the fact the creature supposedly screams "Gongoi, Gongoi" repeatedly. More like
My leg! My leg!
literally my leg, probably.
Well, hang on. So if there's a mythical creature that's famous for hopping about at the side of the road,
Yeah. Screaming
now,
Gongoi.
I'm going to put on my cynic's cap for a moment
You're
and
not, are
suggest
you?
that possibly somebody could have said to their child, hey, go and hop along by the side of that road, I'll film it on my dash cam and we'll tell everybody it was who?
Gongoi. Because I didn't hear no screaming.
No, me either.
It said there was screaming. I did not hear screaming.
I
heard his terrible tasting car music.
if I was the driver, I would have just
Run it
gunned
down?
Yeah, I just nailed the ghost thing. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's that? Oh, if I run that down, I could take that back to someone and they'd pay me money and I'd be famous.
There you go.
Or if it's a one-legged kid that's just on a landmine, you're going to get to prison for running down an innocent...
If it is a one-legged kid that's just on a landmine, then you just throw the body into that cornfield and get the fuck out of there, don't you?
Oh, man.
I mean, it's late. It's like 3 a.m. in the morning. It's dark on that video. I mean, no one's about.
Yeah, I think
Gun it down.
could be a fake. But speaking of a ghost and Ghostbusters, brief little story. This is why I will marry my current girlfriend Leona. We were both dressed as Ghostbusters last night, and we went to the toilet at the same time. And I was like, "I'm going first." And just before I peed, she said, "Don't cross the streams." And I said, are you actually referencing Ghostbusters? You're not just talking about piss, because it'd be weird if we pissed on each other anyway. She's like, "Of course I am." I was like, "Fuck yes!" So yeah, she's not listening, but
Does she?
you
ever?
can tell her I said something sweet.
Does she ever listen to you?
No.
I don't mean the show. I just mean.
Of course she doesn't. Who fucking does?
Our listeners.
Yeah, they love my dulcet tones. Or just dull tones.
So we were both in fancy dress last night then.
We were.
And Mike was
I
pretty
think you looked a bit smarter.
I was dapper.
You were a peaky blinder.
Yeah. What were you doing, Mike?
I was watching Star Wars.
Hey! Doing his research,
Yeah,
man.
research.
Like a professional.
Right, well, I did it this afternoon. No, actually,
With
no,
a
I did
hangover.
watch the 3 films.
Fair enough. That's
So
all you were required
That's
to
all
do.
I was required to do in a way. It's the easiest research week I've had.
Yeah. So what do we think? What do you guys think?
Well, I'm you know my stance on ghosts.
Yeah.
I do like the fact it could be some kind of weird cryptid.
Mm-hmm.
That's a possibility. Doesn't have
Could
to
be
be
a
a ghost.
skunk, maybe. I don't think it's a ghost, but
Pepe Le Pew, the famous
the famous rapey skunk.
Yes. He'd be a supreme judge in America.
Maybe chief of staff.
Trump's like, I'd like to introduce you to our new chief of staff, Pepe Le Pew, and he's just like groping some woman.
Grab him by the pussy. As he's raping a black cat.
Yeah. With that accidentally got a stripe of paint down its back. Yeah. Happened a lot, that did, didn't it? It's not like skunks are endangered. I thought you could have found a skunk.
Strange, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bless him.
Ah, right. So you got the next one.
Let's do it.
Erie, Pennsylvania. A woman high on meth dies after pumping gasoline into her anus.
Oh, wow!
Shit.
I have got diesel on my hands and then near my eyes before, and that stings like a motherfucker. So I can't imagine. Your asshole's got so many nerve endings. It's so sensitive. Oh my. Anyway, please tell me why she put
And
it
of course
in
it's
a
going to
film.
absorb it into your body.
Oh,
You're going to fill up with gasoline.
oh.
Petrol.
Why-
It's petrol, gentlemen.
Yes, why did she do this?
A 32-year-old Erie, Pennsylvania woman has been killed after an overdose on meth cause her to insert a gas pump nozzle into her anus and begin pumping gasoline.
Holy shit, man.
The woman, who is yet to be formally identified by authorities, is believed to have a record for multiple drug offences in Pennsylvania. Officials who are involved in the investigation believe the latest incident was caused by the woman ODing on meth. Victims has been known to abuse multiple substances, but her choice of drug is meth. Well, it's very Moorish.
I don't think it's going to be now.
No, it's not
She's
now.
dead.
Well, we should probably have. Well, it has been. It is the past tense. According to witnesses, the woman ran across several lanes of traffic to grab the gas station, to grab the pump nozzle before pulling down her skirt. Horrified motorists looked on as the woman proceeded to shove the nozzle into her anus and began pumping gas. "Oh, that feels so good," she is said to have called out to the onlookers, who were too shocked to attempt to stop her. I bet someone filmed it. The woman continued to pump gas until the cashier activated the emergency stop. She later collapsed on the ground and paramedics were soon on the scene to provide assistance. However, the gasoline had flooded the woman's internal organs after it absorbed through her rectum. It entered her bloodstream and had a toxic effect, shutting down her key organs, said one doctor who tried in vain to treat the woman when she arrived at hospital. Unfortunately, there was nothing we could do for her.
That's horrific.
On so many levels, I'm thinking of the mechanics. I mean, a gas nozzle, it's fairly substantial.
Yeah, they're not thin things, are they?
No, also, it's not it's not tapered at one end.
It doesn't come with a little packet of lube next to it.
No, I mean, the fact she got it in there so quick leads me to question the state of her arsehole in the first place.
Well, how do you think she pays for the meth?
That's a very salient point. What a horrific way to go, man. And imagine being the ER guy and she gets wheeled in like, what happened? She pumped gas in her anus. Okay, what? Okay.
Yeah, imagine you're this highly trained ER doctor, right? You deal with everything from multiple gunshot wounds to stabbings to heart attacks to that's your day. You switch on to that. You go, oh, what we got? A stroke, right? Bang, I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
Right. Imagine, she's got a load of. She stubbed a gas nozzle up her ass and started pumping. You'd be like, the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
Where do I even start? I don't know.
What, do I press down on her stomach really hard and try and squirt it back out? I don't know.
No naked flames around this woman. Around that fucking scene from The Dark Knight where the hospital goes up.
Poor woman. Oh well, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your services to meth.
Yeah, and guys who need hookers.
It's not the first meth one we've had though. Like this is a
No, that woman who clawed her own eyes out.
Yeah.
That wasn't pleasant.
That's a bad batch of meth.
It's bad. Yeah, I'd argue it is.
It's not good.
Where's Heisenberg when you need him?
Yeah. Oh man, poor lady. Oh well. Funny as fuck though, really. But
Well, that's why it's featuring on Weird News.
Deeply tragic.
That's why when I saw this, I thought, yeah, that's on Weird News this week.
Right, one more. We've got a bit of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then, mate.
Scientists say Mount Vesuvius made people's heads explode.
Wow.
New research shows the people of Herculaneum, I think, near Mount Vesuvius died when their blood boiled and their skulls fractured.
Holy shit.
Holy shit indeed, Mike. A team of archaeologists found the eruption of Mount Vesuvius burned bodies quicker than a crematorium. When you die, you want to go quickly, but maybe not as quickly as the people killed by Mount Vesuvius. According to a new research paper released by a team of Italian archaeologists, the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in AD 79 generated such extreme heat that it caused victims' skulls to explode, their blood to boil, and their muscles, flesh and brains to be rapidly replaced with ash.
Your skull's exploding.
Boom! I imagine it's more of a gentle pop, isn't it?
Imagine if that happened to Anakin on the banks of Mustafa.
Mustafa.
Next to all that lava.
Well, he probably had the Force guarding him.
Would have been a different story then, wouldn't it? No Darth Vader.
Wouldn't have been as cool. But Power Team would have just got someone new.
Yeah. My favourite bit about that scene is the way... I've forgotten the actor's name, holy fuck.
Hayden Christensen.
Obi-Wan.
Oh, well, Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor, the way Ewan McGregor says democracy. Democracy!
And probably the most convincing screaming from Hayden Christensen he's done, because the scream he does later on is not so good.
Well, technically that's not Hayden, is it? Isn't that Earl Jones? No! Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the worst bit of the prequels, that, isn't it?
No.
No.
No, it's not the worst bit of the prequels. We'll get into anyway. Mount Vesuvius.
Sorry.
The team are conducting new investigations on the skeletal remains of those killed in Herculaneum, a town 4 miles from Mount Vesuvius that was obliterated by the volcanic eruption. A lot of big words here, boys. A lot of big words.
Volcanic? You're hungover.
The scientists gained more insights into how the townsfolk died. It was quick, but it wasn't pretty. The team found evidence of rapid vaporization of body fluids and boiling blood, as well as fractures similar to those found in cremated bones that indicated victims experienced recurrent skull explosion.
No!
They also found evidence of the very rapid replacement of flesh by ash.
Wow.
Bodies exposed to extreme heat are often found in a so-called pugilistic attitude, where limbs...
I want to box you! I want to box you!
I'll have you! I'll have you! Come on, Mount Vesuvius! Some man trying to punch the lava. Ow! Ow! Ow!
So he's just a fucking stump.
He's got 2 stumps and he stumps.
I'll fucking have you!
And his head explodes.
I'm fucking full of... No, not... Oh, I got it wrong. What did he shout on the bridge?
I'm Millwall.
That's it!
I'm fucking Herculaneum, I am! Not like them pussies from Pompeii!
Oh dear. Don't punch the lava. It won't work. It's like shooting a hurricane.
He's kicking it, his feet are on fire. In the end, he's just trying to headbutt it vainly until his skull explodes.
You should see the fucking other bloke! He's on fire! Oh dear. Well, I like that. It's pretty metal. Horrible but metal. Very rapid replacement of flesh by ash.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. I don't want to be near a volcano when it goes off, ever. I've got no desire to witness that.
It's not high on the list of things to do for me.
But you know, they do lava tourism though.
Yeah.
People have died by getting too... A boat sank or something fairly recently. They got too close. Boat full of people taking photos and that. I mean, I know it's cool. It's a big event in terms of Earth and geography and stuff, but I don't want to be near it.
No, I thought you meant like in a helicopter or something.
Oh no, people try and get physically close to it.
That's insane.
Yeah, to photograph it and look at it.
They do think if Yellowstone Park goes, that's the world.
Oh, the world's over, yeah. Yeah, that's a whole episode in itself one day. That is. America's just got to... It's sitting on a time bomb.
Yeah.
Is it the whole world or just most of America?
No, the
Or
world.
is it the ash clouds?
The ash cloud
the ash
kills
cloud.
life, yeah.
Just fuck us over. We need that sun. It's quite essential.
Well,
It is, to be fair.
well, yeah.
Unless you're ginger. It's not essential then.
But not with climate change, we don't need it, because if we go above 6 degrees warming,
Yeah.
that's all life on Earth gone.
Oh, fuck.
And apparently they announced the other day that the Trump administration announced that by 2100 it will be +7.
Oh, that's alright, we'll be dead.
So in 80 years' time...
In 20... Oh, I'll have seen episode 9 by then, so it's alright. And Avengers 2, Avengers 4.
Game of Thrones are finished.
We might be cyborgs by then.
In that case, then, if we're cyborgs by that point, we'll be off planet.
Well, yeah.
The Earth, we can just leave the Earth for a bit and come back to it later.
That's if AI hasn't destroyed us.
So many possibilities. How come there's so many possibilities for the end of the world, but no really positive possibilities for the future? It's always a dystopian, bleak future.
No, some
think it's a
people
human
think it's
thing.
going to be a utopia. Some people think technology is going to create a utopia.
I can probably count on one hand the amount of films where there's a really cool human utopian future.
Demolition Man?
Yeah, there's one.
Well, it's not really utopian, is it?
No, it's a bit sort of dictatory, dressed up as it. Go on, give me another.
I was going to say the time machine, but again, looks utopian. But then you've got the Morlocks that are picking you up and eating it.
Yeah, you know.
Star Trek have utopias in it.
I suppose Star Trek, you'd argue, because that is like a resource-based economy and everyone's got what they need.
Still at war most times, aren't they?
They are, but that's more... I suppose you could argue that the Klingons are essentially quite warlike and the Federation are based on going out there peacefully getting people. I mean, peacefully sort of contacting, and the Klingons are just
It just
like,
doesn't make a
bit
nice,
gory.
interesting story when everything's
No, it
happy and
doesn't,
everyone's... There always has to be conflict in the
Yeah.
story, so...
That's what...
The hero's journey.
That's it. Well, we're going to get into that, aren't
Yeah.
We certainly are. So should we move on to Star Wars?
Yeah, let's start the Star Wars talk.
Either way, don't punch lava.
Yeah.
That way, and the show.
Don't put gas in your ass or petrol.
And if you do see a Taiwanese ghost child shouting gongoi and hopping on the side of the road, gun your engine.
Yeah.
Run them down.
And then you find out if it was a ghost or a kid.
Yeah.
And
If it's
create a ghost kid.
If it's the kid, throw that body into the cornfield and drive on. If
Throw
it
it
isn't,
back into the landmine field. Sorry, that's dark. Let's talk about Star Wars.
let's talk about Star Wars, where lots of children are killed brutally.
Well, yeah, very true. Off screen though.
Yeah, I wish they just showed it.
Really?
Well, just at least a hint of it, maybe some shadows or something.
They can't. It would
Like the
have been
kids
like
trying to fight him off, but just getting cut
the
down.
new Star Wars rated 18 certificate. You can't take the kids to this one. Why is that? Oh, there's kids getting murdered.
The younglings aren't going to survive in a pretty way, no.
The original's pretty dark though, when they find the burnt corpses of.
Yeah, he
The
gets
uncle.
over that quite quick,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Actually, he looks at the skeletons. Yeah, that is.
I
a
suspect
dark
he never
bit.
really liked him.
Yeah.
They were,
Because
Bit
he
of
had
an
to get
orphan.
some power converters.
Yeah, he was always fucking doing. He was always farming. He didn't
he
want
just
to
wants to shoot womp rats to his mates.
He was doing his
He hasn't
T16.
got any mates.
There's two
Yeah.
sons and no women.
Jack, Annie, and
Oh yeah, he just mentioned his
Hawkins.
mates. Yeah.
R.I.P. Hawkins. Anyways, let's start with the story behind Star Wars.
Yes.
The hero's journey. Now this is, and as he says in this clip, it will ruin every single film you'll ever watch ever again because you'll know the storyline exactly. So this is a little clip from a BBC documentary, interview with George Lucas and the guy who sort of mentored him to get the Star Wars.
Joseph Campbell.
Joseph Campbell, that's his name, yes.
The man who wrote The Hero with 1,000 Faces.
Yes, which I'm studying now as part of my Jedi course.
He started.
I have started.
Wow!
Oh,
Because I knew it was a hero's
shit.
journey, so I've been doing that. I was doing that last night as well.
And how long do you attain the rank of master?
Oh, fuck me. It's going to take a long
He's got to
time.
finish the book first.
And you got to grow your hair into a little rat's tail to be so you can be a Padawan.
You should, man. Grow your hair.
Yeah, he's popular in the 90s, wasn't it? The little rat tail, the little plaited ponytail
Yeah.
with an ape in your neck. Yeah, you got to grow one of them.
Yeah.
Popularised by
Is that-
Obi-Wan.
That has to be cut off when you get the rank of knight, you see.
Yeah, I want a rat tail on a skullet.
The world's oldest Padawan.
Yeah, I will. I'll be 80 by the time that I get master.
Slow down, master. I'm fucked. My knee's killing me.
You want me to do what? Go and fight that droid army?
You still haven't finished the fucking hero's journey. Get on it.
I'm on chapter 2. Give me a fucking break. It's been 12 years.
You just keep playing football manager every night.
Football manager leads to anger. Anger leads to hate.
So yes,
The
So I
hero's
thought-
the hero's journey.
I better, you know, as we're doing Star Wars, I should really start it. So I
Fair
did it,
enough.
the hero's journey. It's interesting.
There you go.
You probably just wanted to shut me up at the start of every episode. End of
Yeah.
every episode.
It was that too.
Yeah. I'll think of something else.
No doubt you will.
Now he's just going to claim it's part of his life coaching.
Yeah.
Quote.
Take credit for everyone else's
Yeah, yeah.
achievements.
I'm making Mike lead and become better. at
See
some
that?
of the
Oh,
shit.
you started your Jedi, is it? Oh, it's just to shut me up at the end of the episode. Completely taking away your achievement.
No, because he's live coaching. By the way, you owe me 800 quid.
You're a Sith life coach.
Yeah, well, they're more powerful.
Here we go then.
Okay, let's play that shit.
What I was working to try to do was to write a modern fairy tale, and I had become intrigued with mythology and fairy tales as a form of psychological archaeology, where you can pull things down to find common threads that went through lots of different mythology, and that's ultimately why I became friends with Joe Campbell, because that's the research that he'd been doing.
George Lucas was trying to figure out the essence of why myths work, but the man who figured it out first was writer and historian Joseph Campbell.
That was when I realized, and nobody can tell me anything differently, that there's one mythology in the world, and it has inflected in the various cultures in terms of their historical and social circumstances. but it's one mythology.
Joseph Campbell's book, A Hero with a Thousand Faces, took thousands of years of storytelling and mythology and boiled it down to one simple story, a hero's journey. Now, just a bit of a warning, this could be the biggest spoiler of all time because all of your favourite Hollywood films pretty much follow this exact same model. And now that I've told you, you'll look for it in every film you watch. The high concept of the hero's journey is that the hero leaves a somewhat comfortable, ordinary world, maybe with the help of a mentor. Sets out on a journey to a special world which is very different and dangerous. There the hero encounters some monsters or villains or enemies of some kind who put them through a life-changing experience of death and resurrection. Finally, the hero has to come home, return and give closure to the story by bringing back something from that special world to share with everyone else. Now tell me that sounds familiar.
Well, you said it, Chewie.
So George Lucas had discovered all the common ingredients for a timeless story. Now to make it a modern myth, all he had to do was invent a world in space, create the characters and write down the dialogue.
Then I started reading and it seemed to me the dialogue was pretty ropey. But I had to go on turning the page.
No, I did say you can type this, George, but you can't say it. I asked him, please, to try and move his mouth while he was typing.
Boring conversation anyway.
The dialogue may not have been perfect, but the characters were there, and Lucas had found the actors to bring these characters to life. The goodies, the baddies, and even a comic robot duo to talk the audience through the plot.
They're going to execute Master Luke, and if we're not careful, us too. I wish I had your confidence.
While you had some similar characters between the two trilogies, you had 3PO and R2-D2, they appear in both. The first trilogy, the original trilogy, was rompier and more fun. It was a simple space opera, good versus evil, whereas the prequel trilogy had to deal with trade negotiation and senatorial disputes and politics and lots of other complicated stuff. It also had to feed into that original trilogy.
All right, we'll leave it there, shall we?
Yeah, so basically, that's it. It's every film, as I think you said last week as well, guys.
After facing seemingly insurmountable odds, the heroes win, the good guys win in the end. That's every Hollywood movie. But I think it's important that this is why, of all the sci-fi movies that came and got, of all the special effects spectaculars, why Star Wars is so ingrained in our culture, not just pop culture, wider culture. We're both sat here wearing Star Wars t-shirts
I wore this especially
that we
for
bought
today.
In mainstream shops, you know.
Yeah, well, I've got Boba Fett actually, Ben. Grab Boba Fett and we'll put him as a mascot to get it.
See what I mean? Why is it endured through so many generations? Why children, adults, and it's beloved? It's because Lucas followed that hero's journey to the mythology thing. He followed it to the letter and created a modern mythology that does appeal to everyone. It has universal themes that we can all recognise. Yeah. And I think that's a big part of why
and the climate
it
at the
endured.
time.
Oh, when
the
it was
US had just lost Vietnam.
Yeah, that's very true.
The country was
needed
in
hope.
turmoil because
a new hope.
There you go.
A new hope comes along. You know, it's a farm boy that does good.
Yeah.
Saves the galaxy.
Evil empire.
Yeah.
I've got a little quote here for you. Luke fulfills a number of the characteristics that you see in mythic heroes. A royal lineage that he grows up ignorant about in a simple, obscure way, and he has special powers and abilities that are brought out by a series of teachers. In classic mythology, the hero reluctantly leaves the homeland, in Luke's case Tatooine, on a quest that takes him over a supernatural threshold into a strange land. A helper, stroke co-hero, such as a space jockey, Han Solo, lends a steady hand through a series of ordeals. Comic relief is provided by the tricksters, such as the Greek muse Thalia, or C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah.
And then ultimately the hero must stand on his own, face the darkness and conquer it before returning to reality stronger and wiser. And you've got all those things. I think I read somewhere as well that in George's research he learned that all these myths have a wise old wizard type.
Yeah.
Enter Obi-Wan.
Oh, that was Alex Guinness speaking in the clip, by the way.
Yeah.
Obviously played Obi-Wan. He didn't want to do it, did he? Didn't like.
I think he was a bit snotty about it, wasn't he?
He was
a very
proper,
classical
very
actor.
proper actor.
I'm just doing this for the paycheck.
I think that's what it was. Yeah, and Peter Cushing probably fell into that category as well.
Yeah, but I bet when they saw the fucking giant mass success that it came, they got a little bit of a kick out
Well,
of that.
when it was first being made, all the crew were thinking, what is this?
What
This
a pile of
looks terrible.
shit. Yeah,
This
they
looks
were.
bloody awful.
But I bet if you watched it without the score, it would be.
Yeah, I'm about to say that later. Yeah, the score is probably my favourite thing about Star Wars.
It's amazing.
It's fucking
John Williams.
Yeah, I've got a quote from George Lucas. I'm paraphrasing it a bit, but he says, "My films are basically silent films. They're filmed visually, and then you add the music to it.
Totally different, yeah. So I have seen it without the music.
Oh,
I've seen a documentary. I saw clips of it.
Oh yeah,
It looks without all the, where they clean it up, the first cut and everything.
Yeah.
It looks dodgy. And he did a private screening with his friends like Brian De Palma, Stephen King.
Did he do
Steven
Scarface?
Spielberg.
Brian De Palma?
Yeah. So like proper good sort of people.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they said, "What are you doing here, George?"
Oh, George.
George. There's only Steven Spielberg that said it had some promise. Everyone else said it's shit. Dump it, forget it, move on. And if your mates are saying that, you got
good on him. But everything, even the special effects was the first time all that stuff had been done. They were creating techniques to
They
achieve
spent
what he wanted.
they spent half the budget, and they had no usable shots. And they had 6 months left before it was going to be released. So George Lucas had to go in himself and personally direct it, all the shots and everything to get it done.
And the whole thing's a miracle that it came together. And the way it was just everything felt. This is the modern mythology, though. That's what I'm sort of getting at. Is that this is our There's a quote at the start of this article, which is by Steve Purcell. It's called "Move Over I had to write down the pronunciation of that. Odysseus. Here comes Luke Skywalker. Nobody paid $7 to hear Homer read the Odyssey, or lined up to buy Thomas Mallory's 15th century version of King Arthur's legend. But when Star Wars Episode 1 The Phantom Menace opens at 12:01 a.m, George Lucas's epic of galactic good and evil will be seen by more people in one day than Homer or Mallory ever dreamed of reaching in their lifetimes. Different eras, different heroes, yet it's the same mythic qualities."
Yeah. It was the first blockbuster film.
Yeah, do you know where the term comes from? I love this factoid, blockbuster, because in America everything's in blocks.
Yeah,
the queue would be longer than a block, blockbuster.
I think
nobody had
Jaws-
queued before.
I think Jaws was pretty big a few years
I've heard,
before.
actually, you might.
Jaws
bang
was
on
massive,
there.
but this was the first sort of thing.
People were going back and watching it 5-6 times, or maybe more,
And of course all the merchandise and the...
Well, he kept all the merchandising rights.
That was the cleverest thing that man ever did. That's how he
ba-
became an empire of his own.
Didn't he basically say, all right, you take the takings from the movie, I want all the merchandising rights.
Yeah. And they were like, okay, dick.
But remember, we also have Star Wars to thank for effectively kicking off the entire sci-fi revolution. I mean, if you didn't have Star Wars, you wouldn't have had Alien.
No.
Alien was written as it was made as a direct response to Star Wars.
Hollywood,
because there was no other sci-fi scripts on the desk.
Hollywood doesn't like sci-fi.
No.
They've got a thing about it's traditionally not as successful.
What do you think some of the most successful films have been?
I know some of them. Terminator 2.
Before that, there was only really 2001.
Oh yeah. I mean,
they're all B movies, weren't they?
Effectively,
All
yeah.
the sci-fi films before 2001 were B films, weren't they? You didn't get. I can't think of a blockbuster.
No.
They were expected to make up to 20 million.
Oh, War of the Worlds would have been probably the biggest one up to that point, I'd have thought.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, there was a few.
Yeah,
there wasn't many.
No.
20 million, they said that was the maximum that you can ever make from a sci-fi.
Wow.
The executive didn't want to. They didn't want to fund it, did they?
No. Well, think about it. It's fucking alright. It's about his kid in space meets an old wizard.
Should we start with the films? Actually, should we start from we're gonna go from the beginning?
Yeah, wherever you want, man.
Is that the best way to do it? Because otherwise we're gonna end up doing 4 and then go back to 1. And...
Yeah, we'll just keep going, man. That's it.
All right, sorry.
What was I saying?
Kid meets an old man.
Well, yeah, of course they didn't want to fund it. I mean, it must have sounded fucking ridiculous. Plus, you had no reference point. Like, there's going to be space battles. Well, how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Models.
I love what he did with that though. Did you notice when they did the space battles?
Yeah.
They took the footage from World War II.
Oh
fighters,
yeah, I love that.
And they used
actual dogfight footage.
Yeah, they used the exact footage.
I love the space battles, man.
And the
cannon,
realistic. The run to the Death Star gap through the canyon is basically lifted from a film called 633 Squadron.
Oh, awesome.
About a raid that we did in World War II where we had to bomb some, I think it was like a dam or a hydroelectric plant.
Yeah.
And the Mosquito bombers are the only bombers who could fit through this narrow canyons and swing through them like that.
Yeah.
That's a good
while going like 600 miles an hour, swinging through them.
Yeah.
That's a good link, actually. So we do movies that inspired Star Wars.
Yeah, alright.
That's a good place.
But yeah, they basically ripped that entire run from that film. So what's the first one? 12 movies that inspired Star Wars. The first one is Seven Samurai, 1954.
We should say, sorry, just is that the name of the website? Screen Rant.
Yeah.
That's where we're reading this from. Thank you for your content.
Indeed. So yeah, obviously the Jedi Order, mimicking the Samurai Order.
Yeah.
Luke and Obi-Wan's
They have a
relationship.
code.
Yeah, in A New Hope resembles that of Katsushiro, the young samurai who trains under Shimada Kanbei, the wise old Ronin. So yeah.
Have you ever seen it?
I don't think I've seen the original.
I have watched it. It was a long time ago.
I was supposed to watch it. It was on my list. When you do film studies, there's like a reading list, but it's a watching list, and I was supposed to have, but I didn't. That's a shit.
Obviously, The Magnificent Seven was a rip off of that. We've probably all seen some versions.
That's like a direct fucking remake, isn't it?
It's a rip. The Flash Gordon serials, love not those are the serials from 1936. I do love the fucking movie though.
Oh, and me.
Oh yeah,
it's quite raunchy when you watch it back now with adult eyes. You're like, whoa.
Oh, he's whipping her.
Yes.
They were doing a remake of that, but nothing seems to come from it. So yeah, Flash Gordon.
Do you remember Flash Gordon?
Oh, that one got passed around in school on VHS.
Nostalgic boners.
Well, we didn't have much back then.
No, we
just
did not.
dodgy VHS or Euro trash.
And you had to time your wanks very carefully.
You certainly did.
So,
if you had cable, you had the German channels and they showed porn at night.
Yay! You kinky Germans, you.
Yeah, we love you, Germany. Oh God, no, not this Germany though. Triumph of the Will from 1935, which is about the rise of the Nazi Party.
Is that a documentary?
I think played a Nazi propaganda film.
Right.
So yeah, it's created to support the Nazi regime, that film. Probably best off steering clear of that one.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in the West from 1968.
Classic.
I have seen that one actually.
2001 A Space Odyssey, obviously.
Yeah.
I'll make a shocking confession.
You never
I haven't
seen
seen
it.
that
It's
one.
basically a space opera on acid.
Right, okay.
It's a very difficult, it's like every Kubrick, it's like most Kubrick films, they're quite difficult.
It's weird, let's put it that way.
Okay. No fighting robots then, or space battles?
No, but you got Dave, the robot, haven't you?
He goes mad, doesn't he?
Hal's the robot.
Is it Hal?
Hal's the computer.
Oh, he calls him
AI.
Dave, doesn't he? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And you got the weird thing with the monolith and the monkeys and stuff at the start.
Yeah, and you got the ending. It's
awesome.
Another monolith.
Yeah. Have either of you ever watched the next one on the list?
I haven't, but I have heard of it. I should watch it.
I love this. I think the way it looks and everything is fucking amazing. It's an awesome costume and set design and stuff, but it's what was the year again?
1927.
I mean, come on. Film was barely a thing then. It was a new technology, and I think
but they did get creative with it though.
That's what I mean.
They really pushed it
to do it that quick on to be realise what we could actually do with this technology, and I fucking love it.
I do love that
it's inspired so many things.
I do love the 1920s futuristic films. Like, this is what the future's going to be in 2000. We've all got flying cars, and it's Manhattan. Everything's skyscrapers and flying cars. And where's the flying cars, damn it?
When in reality we're all just going to be scavenging through the bins.
That's what Michael Gove wants.
Yeah.
Just go and scavenge the tips again. I'll tell you, it might still work. Get some paint, do your house up. But the thing is, no one's going to throw shit away, are they? That's the flaw in his logic. You're not going to throw stuff away because, you know, I'm going to throw this half a tin of paint away, am I? I'm going to keep it for later.
Fucking
The funniest thing was that a few days later a video emerged of him rummaging through David Attenborough's rubbish.
He did when he was a journalist, yeah. He used to rummage through celebrities' rubbish, try and get stuff on them.
God.
So yeah,
you can't write this shit.
You couldn't, could you? A millionaire Tory saying, time's going to be hard, I'll let you rifle through the tip. What is this country becoming? Stockpiling medicine and fucking food.
Well,
that's why we need escapism.
You saw what this country's becoming. If you saw any of the footage from the Democratic Football Lads Alliance fucking march yesterday in London, where they were throwing out Hitler salutes. But it's Democrat. They've got the word democratic in their name, like the Nazi Party had socialist in their fucking name. It's a joke. They were throwing out Hitler salutes and fighting with the police. There wasn't that many of them, unfortunately. They're all middle-aged white men, surprisingly.
Well, was it anti-protest? Was it an anti-protest?
There was the anti-protest was bigger.
Football lads against fascism, isn't it?
I think it was just the anti-fascists, an anti-racist parade, anti-fascist parade.
Well, this is why we need escapism more than ever, which is why we need Star Wars.
That's very true. Yeah. Can we call a quick press break?
And Star Wars is about a fascist regime.
Yeah, but it's also about smashing that regime with laser swords.
Laser swords?
Yeah.
Give me one.
But actually, Star Wars is not about, it's not just some fascist regime that just appeared and took over. They became the fascist regime.
They did, yeah. It's easy to do.
The warning's there.
Actually,
Orwell fucking told us fucking 60, 70 years ago.
Orwell, Lucas, all the greats.
I was actually thinking though, Star Wars, it's a very catchy title. It's a very, you don't forget it, but it's also a bit shit.
Nah, it's awesome.
It's like unobtainium.
No, think about it.
It is in a way, isn't it? It's
you've got to put it into context.
There's going to be some wars in space. What's in space?
Exactly.
Star Wars. Boom. There you go.
You've got to put it into context. It's 1977. Do you know what I mean? Movies.
But that's why they have subtitles. That's why they have the undertitle.
Star Wars. It's like wars in space. Space Wars. Would that have been any better?
Probably not.
Space Force.
Space Force. But come on.
Space Force would have been better.
Space Force. I love the name.
Luke Skywalker was going to be called Luke
Star Killer. Yeah, that makes it a bit different. Skywalker's such a fucking cool name. Love it.
I used to know a guy called Luke Walker, and his middle name was Sky. S-K-Y-E. I spelled it. He hated it.
Oh, did he hate Star Wars as well?
But his parents didn't.
No, his parents
didn't. His dad probably thought it made his dad laugh every single day of his life.
Yeah.
Use the Force, Luke!
Yeah.
Get some beer from the fridge.
How convenient would that be? Seriously, how convenient would that be? And that's why we can't have the Force.
No.
Right, let's call that the piss break and then we'll get back to these films.
Yep.
Do it.
So, back to the films that inspired Star Wars. We go number 6, The Hidden Fortress, 1958. Never seen that one.
No.
Me either. Never heard of it.
What's it about, Ben?
It's perhaps one of the most cited influences of the original Star Wars trilogy, and with good reason. Akira Kurosawa's film tells the story of a general and a princess fighting to escape enemy territory with the help of 2 bickering peasants. Well, that's effectively A New Hope, isn't it? Yeah, pretty much.
Effectively.
Yeah. The old general and the princess evolved actually into Obi-Wan Kenobi and Princess Leia, obviously. The Dam Busters, 1955. I love the Dam Busters. Classic, love it. Wouldn't get away with having that dog's name in it now, though.
What's the dog called?
The word you said the other week that we beeped out.
Really?
Yeah, that's the dog's name.
Legitimately, that was the dog's name in real life.
Well,
it was a black lab, and that was perfectly acceptable at that time.
Wow. Can I just point out that when I said the word,
you were doing as
I was doing an impression.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah.
It's the listener.
But I couldn't say the word.
Yeah, but
that I'm going to.
The way you just
the
said,
dog's name.
The word you said last week. Yeah, hang on.
Well, it was beeped out. Yeah.
Yes, I said Labrador, listener.
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know what Dam Busters is, Ben.
The story or the film? The Dam Busters, we decided to bomb the shit out of some 3 German dams. We were standing alone at this point against the fascists. You do that and I'll tell a story. Basically, we trained an elite squadron of bomber pilots, 617 Squadron, to go in and drop a bouncing bomb that literally skipped across the water, sank to the bottom of the thing right next to the dam, went off, took it out, flooded the German steel-making industry.
So it's obviously the Death Star is the comparison there.
And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the canyon run on the Death Star is a complete rip-off of 633 Squadron, and as we said, the gunfight in the space battles, where Han Solo and Luke are shooting the TIE fighters,
I apologise for the helicopter in the background.
Well, this is Telford, it's probably a police helicopter.
Mike lives in a ghetto. I'm a bit joking.
In the ghetto. The next one, The Guns of Navarone. I like that one as well. Good film. A group of Allied soldiers on a mission to destroy a pair of giant guns. If they don't destroy these guns as soon as possible, the evacuation of Allied troops will be stopped and their men will be killed. So basically that's the destruction of the Death Star again, isn't it?
Yep.
Jason the Argonauts, love that movie. The 1963 one, love it. Harryhausen doing the stop motion animation, the skeletons, the Hydra.
I used to love that as a kid.
Films. All of them films, to be fair, with the stop motion, loved them. Yeah, still do.
Sinbad.
Yeah, and you can tell that obviously they did it in Sinbad. Yeah, do you remember that one when that fucking giant metal bull was rowing that boat for the evil queen thing, the evil witch
the
queen?
Eye of the Tiger, that one.
That's it, something like that. And it wasn't. Is that the one where the prince had turned into a baboon?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Of course, they used that in Star Wars, the 8 AT-ATs on Hoth in The Empire Strikes Back, and the chess pieces in A New Hope when Chewie and who's playing Chewie?
Oh, good point.
Is it C-3PO?
Might be.
No, I don't think it is. Isn't it Han?
No, Han's flying.
Because Han says it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's C-3PO.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway.
We already failed at Star Wars fandom.
Another one, the next one is Dersu Uzala. I've never even heard of that one, from 1975. Doesn't tell us anything about that one.
No.
That's some lazy reporting screen rant. And number one, Jurassic. I know Jurassic Park came after the original Star Wars, but basically George Lucas took a lot of sort of help from the CGI that was used for making the prequels.
As soon as he saw it, he realised that the prequel was possible.
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't think the CGI in the prequels holds up nowadays, as the original Jurassic Park does.
It is quite old though, really, now, isn't it? What year did Revenge of the Sith come out?
99?
No,
that was Phantom Menace.
No, it wasn't. Phantom Menace was earlier than that.
No, it's 99, Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Was it?
We'd left school, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well,
2005, my guess.
I'll do some
journalism.
journalism.
Let's just keep the IMDb
you
page
keep
up.
talking and I'll tell you what year it came out.
Yeah. 2005 is my bet.
I used to really like well, no, actually. I remember when Phantom Menace came out, it was hailed as the...
You're correct, Mike, 2005.
Oh, wow, brilliant.
So it's pretty old CGI by now.
Yeah, but I mean...
I like it.
There's the CGI that holds up. Terminator 2 holds up. I don't think that does as much. He didn't make any props. It was... Everything was a green screen.
Yeah. And
it's like... I thought it was... I think it's lazy.
Oh! Sorry,
Gaz just nutted the microphone. So, what do we got? Should we go through the films? Or, hang on, what's this one?
Do we go to this one, Gaz? What's this?
Okay, well, this is something I found written by somebody simply known as Jar. Whether that's the Rastafarian deity, Jar.
I think that might be.
I don't know.
Could be.
Or Jar Rules, the 90s musician.
Well, I'm going to read you this article. It's from jartruth.net.
Oh, he's got his own website.
If you're into that sort of thing. George Lucas, quite naturally, believes that he wrote Star Wars when, in reality, he was told telepathically what to write in the original first 3 episodes by the very force to which the films refer, and was, quote, forced, see what he did there,
my God, did the force rape him?
Only episodes 4 to 6. First, as a very important step in the preparation of mankind for the long-awaited truth about the real reasons for human life on Earth. The meaning of life and its purpose contained in The Way Home or Face the Fire, from which episodes 1 to 3 should have been made. Oh, what the fuck, this is... This guy's a babbling fucking lunatic, isn't he? Scroll down a little bit, Mike. I'm not going to read all of it.
Yeah, this guy is a lunatic. Basically, I think he's trying to say the force is real and made George Lucas write Star Wars in this order.
Right. Not understanding that he was being told telepathically, Lucas thinks that Star Wars came from his imagination, which is a perfectly normal human reaction that many people have had over the centuries. Rudyard Kipling thought that he wrote "if" Oscar Wilde thought that he wrote The Picture of Dorian Gray. Joe Darien thought that he wrote the words to The Impossible Dream. And so on. Scroll down a bit more.
This man is clearly insane.
There actually was a real Star War thousands of human years ago in this galaxy on the morning star, Venus.
Oh, no, he's brought the Bible into us.
In the King James authorised version of the Bible, which was the only translation worth reading, by the way, until the new King of Kings Bible was completed. Yes. And you were all on the losing side. It is imperative that I say at this point that the Star of Bethlehem was a spaceship, that was written in capitals, and that God and Christ are aliens, and the books known to you as the Old Testament, New Testament and Quran are not religious books in the way that you all think of religion today. These books are a guide stroke map sent by the Force from the morning star, and which have been taken and used, abused and misinterpreted by the various religious organisations for their own material benefit.
Isn't the morning star Satan?
Ah, yes.
Well, that's a cool name for a spaceship.
The Starbringer, the Lightbringer.
Yeah, Lucifer. I'd have a fucking
The SS Lucifer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I'd imagine there probably has been a USS Lucifer or a HMS Lucifer, maybe.
There's a telescope in the Vatican called Lucifer.
That's there, isn't it? Now this guy, it's fucked up, isn't it? This guy could
when
be.
You talk about a man who sits on a snake, he sits in a snake throne room on a lizard throne. I mean, what's so surprising? Like, I'm
perfectly normal.
It doesn't even surprise me. It's called Lucifer.
Perfectly normal.
People don't realise that there's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's perfectly normal. Now listen, this guy could be onto something, Mr. Jar, because we do know that in the name of that Indian book that I can never say properly,
the Bhagavad-gita.
Yeah, that there was talk of flying
cities,
flying ships, having dogfights and stuff. There's lots of alien drawings. All I'm saying is there could have been a Star War.
Oh yeah, and there's that when we did UFOs in wartime, there was that Hamburg incident in 15th century Germany where there was a dogfight over the city.
And they saw the future stuff happening.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe but whether that means that George Lucas telepathically wrote Star Wars without realising it, I don't know. But hey,
would he tell us if he did?
Yeah, I think that's enough of this, guys. He's got a very long post here about.
Why is he putting OB as OB O.B.I?
Because he's a massive.
Oh yeah. He's just. Alright, fair enough. That did confuse me for a second. Okay, well, yeah, this guy's a screaming lunatic.
Yeah, I don't think Star Wars is real. I think it's really fucking cool, but I don't think it's real.
Yeah, I've got another conspiracy.
Holy fuck shit.
The Star Wars conspiracy. Hidden occult and Illuminati symbolism of aliens in the New Age.
Yeah.
Wow.
I looked at this guy, that book there, the picture. To buy it on Kindle was £4 something.
I looked at it as well, yeah.
I was like, I ain't spending £4 on this
Isaac
shit.
Weishaupt.
By the way, buy Gaz's comic book on Kindle.
Oh yeah, go on Kindle and buy my piece of shit book on Kindle instead.
I'll read the blurb instead.
Okay.
In this revealing analysis of the entire Star Wars film collection, conspiracy theorist Isaac Weishaupt explains the hidden occult messages that are the true agenda of the mysterious shadow group referred to as the Illuminati. This analysis comes in at 100 plus pages, making it the most comprehensive study on this subject to date.
I.e. the only fucking study.
The only one that's got over 100 pages rather than an internet blog.
Weishaupt uses examples from the Star Wars films to break down the future goals of the Illuminati and the world they are attempting to create for themselves as part of their evolution of consciousness. Wow. This is ultimately a ruse from the deceptive fallen angels and demons that we've been warned about.
What is it with these people and fucking God and demons? And can't you just enjoy the fucking film?
I have never once sat in one of my multiple viewings of the many Star Wars films and thought, oh, this is all a bit devilly.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to draw a pentagram on the garage floor and fuck a goat.
This guy says that the Star Wars epic takes the audience through occult dogma with various lessons, including duality and the battle between light and dark, Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, Aleister Crowley's beliefs in ritual magic through disembodied spirits.
Can I just say, Mr. Crowley? Bam, bam, bam. Sorry.
New Age founder Helena Blavatsky and Adolf Hitler's belief in the Superman with latent internal powers and the necessary destruction of Christianity as part of the future world religion.
Now, I don't want to poke holes in it without having read it, but I'm going to. We've just heard and discussed, not less than 15 minutes ago, about the hero's journey and how it basically applies to every fucking mythology and story. So, he could write this book about any fucking movie, couldn't he? He's just picking on Star Wars.
He says that transhumanism, Atlantis, global consciousness, destruction of the family unit, and many other lessons are wrapped up and hidden within the Star Wars tale, which are occult scripture being readily consumed by today's entertainment-obsessed masses. The planned deception of alien life forms and extraterrestrial depictions in Star Wars are paving the way for future rigid revelations of evolved alien entities that are truly demons in disguise.
Can I read the last paragraph?
Yeah.
Don't let the religion of Star Wars infiltrate and possess your mind without first considering the true teachings insidiously hidden within this Promethean tale of occultism.
You fucking idiot, not you, Ben.
No.
Can I read?
Call me an idiot yet today, so
a slight rebuttal to this fucker from that article I was reading earlier.
Yeah.
Luke's slightly different in the whole mythology. Jesus
Mythology.
Christ. Yeah, thank you. I've only had one beer.
Like, Carlsberg.
He's slightly different because he has a shift towards pacifism, which is different from past mythological heroes. Yoda and Obi-Wan teach Luke to use the Force for knowledge and defense, and the young Jedi Knight tosses away his weapon during the climatic battle with Darth Vader in Return to the Jedi. That's a pretty radical idea. We're used to the hero fighting, slaying the dragon or killing the monster. That's what we find most familiar. This idea of triumphing by not fighting, of being passive, of letting the power work through you is a very Zen type of idea. So that's completely... This guy's saying that Star Wars is teaching us bad things. No, my friend. Luke, and... Oh, we should have said this earlier. Spoilers! To all of the film. We're going to spoil all of them. You shouldn't be listening if you haven't watched them. But anyway...
That's what I had to.
Luke, at the end of Return of the Jedi, like I just said, pacifism. He doesn't fight.
Yeah.
Right? And that in turn forces Vader to save him. At the end of The Last Jedi, he doesn't fight. He sends the Force projection.
Yeah.
It's a peaceful, he's not actually doing any fighting. He doesn't use a lightsaber in that film once.
I think he blocks.
No, because it can't make contact with him, can he?
He does make contact because he kisses Leia on the forehead earlier.
Yeah, but in the lightsaber fight, I don't think that they touch each other.
I think he might deflect a couple of blows.
No. I've seen
you have seen it.
I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
He ducks under them all.
He does do that cool Matrix style.
Yeah, he flips out of the way of them all and stuff. My point is, Luke's a pretty peaceful dude. And he's the main hero of the movie, so I don't see where you could be learning...
Though he did kill thousands of people on that Death Star.
Yeah, but as we'll get into later with the Clerks discussion, they knew who they were working for, they knew what they were constructing, and all's fair in love and Star Wars.
But in that case, then, the actions of Rogue One wouldn't be necessary, because the rebels have just infiltrated the construction company, got the plans anyway, just got someone in as a low-level grunt working, pieced together the plans, got out of there.
What an amazing film that would have been.
Yeah,
robots break into a fucking building site.
Yeah. You can look at it actually as Luke being a terrorist.
Well, yeah, the Rebel Alliance are terrorists, aren't they?
And they're
and they're rebel scum.
Rebels, you rebel scum.
You rebel
The best line in Star Wars,
but
except for it's a trap.
Obviously,
no. The best line is
that's not there.
Hey, the woman you loved is dead, died in childbirth,
lost the will,
lost all your arms and legs,
lost the will to live.
We've replaced them with robot arms and legs, and you're gonna have to walk around in this big robo suit for the rest of your life. You're not human anymore, basically. Sorry. No. Oh. That wouldn't be your fucking reaction. Give it. Why didn't he just do take two? Take two. Remember, woman you love dead, arms and legs gone.
Dong gone.
Action.
Penis gone as well.
You lost your cock.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan burnt your cock off. Now, give it me. Take
don't,
3.
Don't give me your cock.
Yeah, no, not that. Take 3. No. That's it, perfect. I mean, come on, George. I love you, but that... Imagine if he gave a proper death rattle scream, how much better that scene would have been. Like, a guttural... Like,
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, that's just nitpicking. I love that film. I genuinely do.
I do like Revenge of the Sith. It's my favourite out of the 3 prequels.
Yeah.
If anything, there's like too much lightsaber fighting and stuff. It's
lot
like
of
a hell of
lightsaber.
action in it, man.
I love the... actually, no, let's just start on the films.
Okay.
Right, so it's The Phantom Menace.
I know, we'll just say that Isaac Weishaupt, we're all saying that he's batshit crazy, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Don't spend £4 on his silly
Spend 4 quid on
If you're,
Gaz's
yeah,
silly
if you're on
book.
Amazon anyway, look for Space Force Intergalactic Fascists and you'll find a comic book written by me, and maybe you could buy that instead. But if you think it's shit, don't tell me. It's just tough.
He doesn't take criticism well.
No, I will fucking hunt you down.
He has a very particular skill
Set of skills, yeah. I'll fucking Google your name. Right. So, yeah.
The Phantom Menace. The first of the prequels, did we say 2000? What year did we say, sorry?
99.
99. When this movie came out, it was touted as like the fucking best thing ever committed to cinema. The cinematic film. The critics loved it. I came out the cinema liking it. Mm-hmm. The trade dispute... It's basically a false flag. It's a conspiracy theory, as Mike said. It's a false flag. That Palpatine's behind the scenes, even though he plays a very minor part in this film.
Yeah.
As a Naboo politician in the Senate. He's not even in the Senate, is he? He's just on the planet. He's not even in the Senate.
Well,
they send the Queen, don't they?
I enjoyed the pod race. I do remember thinking
there are some
at the time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of effects in this movie, but I enjoyed the pod race first time I saw it.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
It's tiresome now for me.
I enjoyed the sounds.
The little 10-year-old Anakin does my head in a bit.
He's a little bit annoying, but all child actors are by their nature. Yeah, he's 10-year-old. But
who says yippee?
You get to see some actual. Because I thought about this.
Of course, Jar-Jar Binks.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that in a sec. We're going to discuss Jar Jar. I rewatched Return of the Jedi. That's the most recent one I've watched. And Luke's shit with a lightsaber. He's a hacker.
He is.
He's just. But then it was nice to actually watch somebody doing some like fucking Jedi martial arts type lightsaber fighting for the first time.
Yeah, and I'm going to go on every single finale lightsaber fight in every single film that features a lightsaber fight is fucking brilliantly criminally underused villain, Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Criminally underused.
Totally.
I think that's why they brought him back.
Yeah, well, he's a big... Disclaimer, I've never watched any of the cartoon series, Rebels and Clone Wars, but from what I've read, he's a very big part of that series.
Yeah, he's
still alive in continuity, as we'll discuss. Spoilers! In Solo. He's canon, it's continuity. He's alive in the movies, in the expanded universe as well. So I'd love to see more of him if there was a sequel to Solo, which I personally would be down for.
I think they'll give him just normal legs rather than robot spider legs. I think because it might look a bit too the Rock Scorpion King thing going on with that maybe. That's terrible CGI.
Yeah, what's your favourite thing about it then?
The end lightsaber fight.
Yeah,
definitely. Cool. I think that's the
blast shields.
I think the song is called "The Duel of the Fates" as well.
You talking about Return of the Jedi now?
No, we're talking about Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Duel of the Fates in Revenge of the Sith. Is that played in Phantom Menace as well?
I think it might be at the... Because I think it's it's a continual sort of theme throughout the film, isn't it? But the...
Bit of work.
That's with the double-ended sabre, he's fighting Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, Liam Neeson.
Cool. I didn't like the
He didn't have a budget to chance Liam Neeson, though, did he? Well, Qui-Gon wasn't renowned as a fighter, was he?
I like Qui-Gon. I thought he was a good character.
Yeah, he's alright. It's pretty cool. Well, he's Obi-Wan's master, isn't he?
That's the one thing they messed up with the continuity, because they said that Obi-Wan said that Yoda trained him.
Yeah, but you could have more than one. Like, okay, maybe Qui-Gon's his master, but Yoda's the general, head teacher at Jedi school.
Yeah, well,
so
he is effectively the head.
He takes the odd lesson.
It's very much like an X-Men Academy, the Jedi Temple, because you've got all the masters, haven't you? There's like 12 masters, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And like, Yoda's the head guy, he's the Jesus in this scenario. Wonder if it's 12 and Yoda?
Never know.
Yeah? But they must all have to go down and teach a class now and again to all the younglings. Surely.
Well, they go on missions to take one with them, don't they?
I hope Yoda doesn't teach.
Yeah, but I mean, like the very young ones.
The very young ones. I'm sure that they'll have the masters won't be teaching the young ones, or they'll take the. They each take on one Padawan learner, don't they?
I bet. Well, every single knight and master probably has a Padawan. Yeah. But I wonder if they just have to, if they're in the temple one, hey, do you mind teaching a class on lightsabers today, Master, or whoever you are?
Yeah,
that guy with a cone head.
It's been a long time since I watched Phantom Menace, but I do remember that, like, it's right at the start of the film, and you see Obi-Wan, like, plunge his lightsaber into a big metal blast door and, like,
that's what they...
I remember thinking, "Wow, yeah."
He's like, I didn't know lightsabers could do that.
That's cool. I'd do that with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
And then there's, should we address it right now? Then there's the massive racial sort of dodginess in that one.
There's definitely some dodgy racist stereotyping. I mean, the trade delegations are blatantly sort of meant to be like greedy Japanese businessman types. You know, that stereotype of the little Japanese guy in the business suit and the buck teeth and the glasses. It's almost like that.
Yeah.
Some 1930s kind of... It's very much like a 1930s stereotype in a way. And that, I was like sort of confused. I remember it confused me. Why are they going to be Japanese?
What did you think?
And then Jar Jar.
I was just about to say, upon your first viewing, can you put your mind back and remember? Because I'm going to tell you, I was the person who... I bought, like, all the merchandise.
You never bought a Jar Jar toy?
I had Jar Jar things, yeah, definitely. I was looking today, this might be a giveaway for a listener in the future. I found a still sealed, in box, Star Wars Episode 1 watch. It's 20 years old now. It's a watch with Darth Maul's face made out of steel. And it flips up. It actually looks pretty cool.
What the fuck are you wait for then?
Well, you know, we'll some sort of competition. I don't think it's worth very much money. It's just cool. Yeah, I bought all the shit. I got loads of Phantom Menace. I didn't buy anything, I don't think, from the other two, but that one I bought into it big time. Why was I talking about that? Oh yeah, so Jar Jar. I don't remember being that annoyed by him first time. I think I just thought, because there's a lot of annoying characters and stuff. C-3PO is pretty fucking annoying.
C-3PO is annoying, yeah.
So is the bloke. Oh my god, have you ever watched an interview with Anthony Daniels? He's the worst. One of those people who tries to make acting sound like the most complicated, amazing, you know, the process and all. It's fucking... Play dress up and make pretend. It's what kids do every day at school or at home when they're playing. Yeah. It's nothing, and they try and talk about it like it's this, you know, the way I channeled and became
He spent his fucking acting career in a metal suit walking around doing shit lines.
What it was, he saw a painting. There was a painting outside the office.
I've seen that interview.
Yeah.
And the charm of his face.
Yeah, that's it.
It just spoke to me. And her
his vulnerability. He decided to play it as an anxious butler. Which I think
George told you.
I don't know what else that guy's been in.
The director told you how to play it.
What else has he been in?
Fuck, give a fuck.
I've never seen anything with him in. I've never looked.
No.
I love R2-D2. He's probably my favourite character.
You know what? You know why I'm such a hate-filled individual most of the time?
Yeah, why is that?
Because when I was a kid, I really wanted an R2-D2 toy, and they sold out.
Oh.
And it was Christmas, and I never got one.
And you thought you were going to get it?
I thought I was going to get it.
Yeah.
And that was why I'm such a hateful individual.
That's not an excuse for fascism, Ben. I'm joking. Ben's not a fascist.
Hardly a fascist.
So we'll stick to episode 1. Mike, could you get me that Jar Jar article up? Because there is quite a popular theory, well, popular in terms of many people have heard it, amongst Star Wars fans about said Jar Jar Binks. I'll read a bit of it out and you could take over if you want, Ben. But
yeah.
This fan theory has Reddit convinced Jar Jar Binks was the greatest Sith Lord of all time.
No, there's only 2 Sith.
It's no secret that Jar Jar Binks is one of the most unpopular characters in the Star Wars universe. Even Emperor Palpatine, an old evil dude who committed genocide across the galaxy, has a higher approval rating than the dopey Gungan.
Oh, I like Palpatine.
It's a human instinct to impose structure and meaning onto ideas we don't understand, which perhaps explains why one of the most compelling Star Wars fan theories suggests that Jar Jar is actually the most powerful Sith Lord in the entire series. One Reddit thread in particular delves and delivers an epic Jar Jar Binks fan theory on par with the best tales from the Star Wars canon. This Darth Jar Jar theory suggests that the Gungan has been the mastermind behind the Sith all along, and that all will be revealed, well, this has proven to be bullshit, this bit, in The Last Jedi. It sounds crazy to you? Well, Redditor Lumpawaroo actually makes a pretty convincing argument. Ranker breaks it down for you. So yeah, this is from ranker.com. Palpatine is Jar Jar's subordinate.
Wow.
Although the official story places Sheev Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious...
Wow, didn't know his first name was Sheev.
There you go. At the centre of the Sith's plot to destroy the Jedi and take over the galaxy, the Darth Jar Jar theory suggests that Jar Jar is the real threat and that Palpatine is just one of his followers. At the end of The Phantom Menace, Mace Windu asks Yoda whether Darth Maul was the master or the apprentice. In the moment, it seems pretty clear that Darth Sidious is the one pulling the strings from the shadows. However, we now know that Sidious is breaking the rule of two, since he is still Darth Plagueis, his apprentice, during that film, but takes on an apprentice of his own anyway. So what if Sidious was serving another master all along? It would explain why Jar Jar later helps Palpatine rise to the top of the Galactic Senate.
So, hang on, was Plagueis still alive in Phantom Menace? Because I always just assumed that Palpatine was the master. That's what I was going for.
It's been that long since I've seen it, I've got no fucking clue.
Because it's never hinted at. You don't hear about Darth Plagueis until Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Okay, well, the next one, and this one is one you can check yourself. The actual original Reddit post is amazing because he puts all the video clips in for you to see all these things. Jar Jar has some crazy physical abilities.
He's a bumbling fucking idiot.
Yes, but is it drunken martial arts? The Darth Jar Jar theory also notes that the clumsy alien is actually capable of amazing physical feats that are usually reserved for those knowledgeable in the ways of the Force. Take the scene early in The Phantom Menace when he dives into the water by performing a 20-foot twisting somersault. We've certainly seen Jedi jump that high, but Jar Jar is the only non-Force user who can move like that. Of course, you wouldn't be out of line for arguing that Gungans might just be capable of jumping higher than humans.
Yeah. I think 20 foot. I mean, unless he's. I mean, how's he fucking getting the reference on that in terms of height? I mean, he's just throwing a figure out.
I don't know. He is skilled in battle.
No, he's not.
Well, although he often comes off as clumsy, Jar Jar Binks is actually a great warrior who can hold his own in a fight. Well, that's what the Reddit theory posits anyway. The prime example of Jar Jar's viciousness can be seen during the Battle of Naboo in the first film. Jar Jar takes down several enemy tanks accidentally, quote, unleashes a mass of boomers that annihilate a brigade of battle droids and shoots down bad guys with a blaster that's wrapped around his leg. Basically, Jar Jar is putting up a facade in order to appear dumb and clumsy. Secretly, he's actually an amazing soldier.
I don't get it.
Well,
I did hear this theory that George Lucas was going to make him a...
But he cut it off because of the backlash to it. Now, there are actual... Okay, we'll keep going. He uses mind control to destroy democracy.
See, this is my thing with it. It's like, he's a bumbling fucking idiot. And they're like, who's best to go to the Senate and represent Naboo? Yeah, him.
But he's saying he's not, and he's orchestrating.
But that's what's always got me with the film. Taking away this theory.
Have you seen the film Being There?
No.
It's the last film that the comedian, what's his name? Peter
Sellers?
Yeah, it was his last film. And he was a bumbling idiot. Well, he was just like a gardener, and he becomes president because the people think that they can control him, put him in the place, like. So
well,
it's a bit like that.
Have you ever seen on the original Reddit post? You should check it out, guys who are listening. It literally shows. You know what drunken martial arts is. Wushu.
I've done drunken martial arts many a time.
Yeah. Well, there's
no word for me though.
This guy isolates.
Saturday night. On a Saturday night, you see some drunken martial arts.
That's because you've only got kebab in one hand and a pint in the other.
Yeah, but you have to decide what to use as a weapon. That's the problem.
Yeah. Glass him and then
kebab him in the eyes.
Kebab him.
Chili sauce.
There's chili sauce in the eyes and then the glass. You see, there's he comes as a Dory smile.
The Dory smile. Well, the Jar Jar smile is. That's what I was to say. On the original post,
evil in that picture.
Hang on the original post, it literally shows him doing specific wushu manoeuvres and then shows them being performed by a martial artist, and they're pretty fucking similar. He does kip ups and things, and I think he's pretending to be a moron. Anyway, let's read the next one. Does somebody else want to read this one out while I spark the joint?
Although he often comes off as an idiot, Jar Jar continually finds ways to slide into positions of power, both in the military and the government. How is it possible that someone like Jar Jar, who often has trouble staying upright, is promoted to the rank of general during the Battle of Naboo? Jedi mind tricks are featured in every one of the series installments. Could Jar Jar be a master of mind control? This will explain why Padme Amidala makes him one of her aides in the Senate, then later her direct representative. She could have picked anyone she wanted for the job, yet chooses the dim-witted Jar Jar. The Darth Jar Jar theory suggests that all these emotions are actually orchestrated by the calculating Gungan Sith Lord to further his plan for galactic domination.
What an amazing plan. Just pretend you're basically the Frank Spencer of space.
Yeah.
But secretly, you're actually a very calculating fucking motor. Yeah. Missa, see ya, Betty. You know, Georges likes to make... Georges? Who's Georges?
Gorgeous George.
Gorgeous George, yeah. George Lucas likes to make, quote, little creatures important. One of the Reddit theory's stronger arguments has to do with George Lucas himself. We know that Lucas likes to surprise audiences with big character reveals, e.g. Darth Vader is actually Lee's father. Luke's, blah blah blah. And there's one hero in particular whose character progression might be... Ooh, what's that?
Analogous.
Yeah, something like that. To Jar Jar's Master Yoda. As George Lucas said in a making of documentary, Yoda really comes from a tradition in mythological storytelling, fairy tales, of the hero finding a little creature on the side of the road that seems very insignificant and not very important, but who turns out to be the master wizard or the master thing. Jar Jar Binks could have been created with the same trope in mind, only rather than becoming a Jedi Master, the bumbling alien matures into a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Do you want to go for the next one, somebody?
Yeah. Do you want to do mine?
There you go.
Lucas had bigger plans for Jar Jar, but chickened out. I think we mentioned this briefly.
Yeah.
The Darth Jar Jar theory suggests that George Lucas had at one time planned to reveal the Gungan was a powerful Sith Lord, according to the name Lumpawaru. Jar Jar would have expressed his true intention to attack the clones and faced off against Yoda in the film's climactic duel scene, where Yoda reveals himself to be a benefit cheat. Due to the unpopularity of the character amongst fans and critics, Lucas chickened out and replaced Jar Jar with Count Dooku.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Easily played by...
Count Dooku came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he did.
He certainly did, yeah.
Because maybe he was going to turn Jar Jar in number... I think that would have been so much fucking cooler, man. Imagine him just suddenly evil and talking in a terrifying voice, and all of a sudden he's not clumsy.
I'll go for that.
Got the hood on, yeah.
He's like, oh, Jar Jar, what are you doing here? And
his voice chokes.
His eyes just glow red or something.
Yeah, that could have been...
2 lightsabers.
Fuck yeah.
2 red lightsabers, because obviously he's a drunken boxer, so we can do that.
He's a skilled martial artist.
Yeah. Would have been like, oh man, you haven't seen that fucking Game of Thrones scene where this guy fights with
Well, I
two
think
swords.
this one was proved to be bullshit, but it does say that the theory is that Jar Jar is actually Snoke, or Snoke the other way around. Snoke. This brings us to Supreme Leader Snoke, the enigmatic villain of the sequel trilogy who controls the First Order. Well, this has been proven to be bollocks because this was written before, so we won't bother with that one. Jar Jar actor Ahmed Best revealed part of the theory is true. Would someone like to read this one?
Ahmed Best, the actor who played Jar Jar Binks in the prequels, has addressed the Jar Jar rumours, telling YouTube Jamie Stangru that there is some truth to the theories regarding the possible reveal of Jar Jar as a Sith Lord in the prequel trilogy. Best hinted this might have indeed been the case. What I can say about it is, and I kind of seen this on Twitter, there's a lot about it that's true. That's a quote. There are some things that are not true. Could Jar Jar evolve into that? I think the answer is yes, because of the backlash, and rightfully so. Lucasfilm backed off from Jar Jar a lot, but a lot of the influence I put into the character mirrored a lot of what was already in the Star Wars universe. Best doesn't quite confirm the truth about Jar Jar, but does say it was certainly a possibility, ultimately, if it could have come down to George Lucas to decide Jar Jar's true identity.
Well, this article isn't even going to... If you go to the original Reddit post, it literally shows examples of him slyly using the Force. Like, his hand literally waves and things. I think George laid these eggs. I think that was his original plan. Then he just went, did a U-turn and went, fuck that. Everyone says he's a dick and he's racist. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I think it could have been really fucking cool.
Yeah, I like it. And I think it would have been... It certainly would have made it a lot more fucking interesting.
Yeah.
And it would have...
Because
the audience thought, what a fucking bumbling idiot this guy is. What an idiot.
What a turn.
I think
then he's the main bad guy in part 2. He's Dooku in part 2.
Yeah. I mean, alright, we wouldn't have had...
And then in part 3, you get to see Anakin fucking take his head off with 2 lightsabers.
Oh, I'd pay to see that.
Yeah.
Aw. I hope someone does a comic of it or something, like. They probably already have, actually, if I bother to look.
Gaz, in 50 years' time, they'll fucking reboot all this, mate. They'll change
the
it.
special editions of the prequels.
Yeah. They'll just redo them.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I think there's a little bit of weight to that
Nothing
one.
sacred. They did RoboCop.
Yeah.
Nothing sacred. They'll do it. Eventually, they'll do it.
There's apparently a deleted scene where Palpatine tells Jar Jar his plan.
What?
Best also confirmed in his interview with Jamie Stangroom that there was a scene shot for Revenge of the Sith wherein Palpatine reveals his master plan to Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, yeah. But that could be just the fact that he's an idiot and...
he doesn't think that...
I'll just tell this fucking idiot.
Oh, I'll be interested. Let's just read one last one. So this is Empire's End, which is a novel from the new... Because, you know, they basically said, the expanded universe stuff doesn't count, it's not canon anymore.
Oh, right.
Yeah, since the Disney takeover, none of that is canon anymore.
What, so...
And the new books that are coming out, they are canon.
So they can sell
hang on,
books.
so they better keep that Wookiee Jedi in.
If it was before the Disney takeover, it's not canon anymore.
Oh, man!
So,
he was
but
awesome! He was like Chewbacca's nephew, he was great.
Apparently the book called Aftermath, which is in the continuity now, reveals Jar Jar's canon fate. So what happened to the little fucker? Of course, this theory still has a long way to go before it can be considered factual. Especially since just this year in a new Star Wars novel revealed that what Jar Jar has been up to since the prequels. In Aftermath, by Chuck Wendig, it is revealed in a short interlude that Jar Jar now lives a disgraced life as a street performer after he was once again banished from his underwater home. Life above the ocean's surface isn't great, since most of the people of Naboo blame him for the rise of Emperor Palpatine.
Shit throughout him all day.
After all, it was Jar Jar who gave Palpatine the emergency powers that would eventually grant him total control over the galaxy. Jar Jar describes his complicity in the rise of the Empire as, quote, big mistake. Misa make a big mistake. But if one believes the Darth Jar Jar theory, galactic conquest was his plan all along.
Yeah, but it wasn't his plan to end up as a fucking busker on the streets of Naboo and shit thrown at him.
Yeah,
Constant abuse, was it?
Fuck, and he's trying to entertain and sing a song. Misa do a handstand. Fuck it, we live under a fascist regime because of you.
It's all your fault, Jar Jar. They throw shit at him.
I don't want to see you dance, you prick.
No one's throwing money in his fucking cap, are they? Let's face it. No one is throwing money in. He's not making a living. He's starving to death slowly because no one's throwing money in his cap.
He's just asleep in the...
Oh, unless he's rummaging through the skips.
Yeah, and some guy just pisses on him while he's asleep.
And then he is arrested by stormtroopers.
Yes, gets executed by a stormtrooper. It was worth it.
It was worth it.
Actually, you actually hit him that time.
I regret nothing.
Oh, can we call a quick break?
Yeah, of course we can. Then we should probably move on to the next
Yeah,
film.
move on from Jar Jar. Move on and up.
Attack of the Clones next then.
Yeah.
So we are back and we'll go on Attack of the Clones. So at this point, what are we, 10 years on? 5 years on?
In the story, it's got to be 10 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, Obi-Wan is now a Jedi Knight. He's training Anakin. There's an attempt on Queen Amidala's life, Padme Amidala's life.
So it opens in space.
I love the opening of that film.
Love
Yeah,
it,
it starts and the shuttle comes in through the atmosphere of the ship and they land it. Like, it's an awesome
And they got all
opening.
those all
actually.
confused.
I should have rewatched the
This is where we get into the politics of the Senate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where you know the trade Federation are playing up. They've actually attacked some. You know the Naboo attack is obviously they've got a droid army. The Republic doesn't have a droid army. This is the issue. They haven't got an army full stop. They haven't needed one for however many years. So then we find out that I've never quite figured it out. The Jedi Master who goes and sort of orders the clone army from the cloners out. I can't remember the name of the planet now. It's
Clone Land.
Clone Land, right on the outer streets of the galaxy where it goes on there.
Kimono.
That's
Well
it.
done.
Well done. Should know that. I played a lot of Star Wars Battlefront. Or the old one, not the new one. That was a good fucking platform battle, actually. Yeah, so then Obi-Wan obviously has to go out there.
Yeah.
He encounters Boba Fett's dad, Django.
Django.
Django Unchained Fett, who he's the basis for all the clones. He's meant to be a master bounty hunter, a fantastic soldier. There's how many? There's like a few 100,000 of them good to go.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm sorry. Boba Fett, most overrated character in the whole thing.
I agree with you.
Looks cool as fuck.
Yeah.
I admit that he looks amazing, which is why I think everyone loves him. But he's a bit of shit. Really.
He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do a lot.
I mean, look what happens to him in Jedi, Return of the Jedi.
I think it's because he looks cool.
He looks awesome, that's the thing. People want him to have a solo movie and stuff. I mean, look, Mike's, we've got a little statue of Bubba here as our mascot.
Little bobblehead.
He's fucking awesome, but he's
got a rocket sticking out of his backpack.
Yeah.
Just a badass rocket man.
But then though, wait, I suppose, if you think about it, Boba Fett actually saw his dad get decapitated in front of him.
Before we scoot to that, terrible love scene in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, terrible, awful, and that droid assembly factory bit. You know, they're in the factory and C-3PO his head gets stuck on the droid body.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, it's shit. That is just awful, George. I don't know what you were doing with that, mate. I don't know where you were going with that.
I think though the problem is, it's the delivery of Hayden. Obi-Wan does some good acting in the prequels because he's Ewan McGregor. He's one of the best actors on the planet. But Hayden is just so. But George has to take responsibility because he's in charge. But the performance. Well, he might be a good actor, but the performance he was instructed to give or allowed to give, I don't know. It's just the most wooden. Again, I'm sorry, we're probably annoying the fuck out of truly hardcore Star Wars fans, but I haven't watched the prequels for years, so they're all mumbled up in my head. But there's a scene that could have been funny, but wasn't. Anakin is interpreting R2's language. And he's like, he delivers it like this. I think beep is up. Beep is up, right? Oh no, beep means down. Yeah, it's down.
I didn't remember that bit.
And it's like, that could be funny. The fact that you're interpreting, oh, is beep up? Oh no, beep's up. Yeah, I know beep's up. Oh no, beep means down. No. But he just delivers it in this complete monotone robo voice. And I'm like, fucking hell, cut his arms and legs off already, man.
It's gone from an annoying 10-year-old to now an annoying teenager.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very annoying teenager.
I do like that he goes and kills the sand people.
Yeah, that's good, but that's like almost his first step to the dark side.
You need a bit of him.
Never tells Obi-Wan about that, does he?
No.
Yoda always says, and he says, there's fear in you.
Yeah. It's your love for your mother, the fear of losing your mother.
Yoda could see it. Yoda could sense what was going to happen. And he knew then. Well, he went against his better judgment, didn't he?
Because Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon were so convinced. But there's a lot of people. Doesn't Yoda even literally say maybe the prophecy was read wrong or something?
Yeah, well, the prophecy is that there's a chosen one who will bring
born out of basically like Jesus. It's a virgin birth. The Force creates a child, and it will bring balance to the Force.
Which he does.
He does. He just goes around
he goes to the Jedi.
No, he kills Emperor Palpatine.
Oh, eventually, yes. So it just took.
He does bring balance, but the prophecy didn't say that
it's going to take 30 years,
and it's going to be like 30 years of hell before that he does.
But remember, he does bring balance to the Force because he kills both sides.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does.
So it was misread. They thought it'd be a great thing.
I think the Jedi are arrogant,
and that's probably why in the Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker wants the Jedi gone.
Yeah, and I love that whole story. I loved Yoda's line. Look, we're gonna jump.
Yeah, we'll go.
But I love Yoda's line. Have you read the scriptures? Page turners, they were not.
Yeah.
The Jedi were arrogant, and this is them at their height of their powers in episode 2.
And whether they like it or not, they have got power.
Yeah.
You know, the senator, whoever's in charge of the Senate, he's going to be listening to Yoda.
Yeah.
He's the wisest man in the fucking galaxy.
Are they like the Catholic Church? They're influencing government.
In a way, they're very much like the Vatican was in the Middle Ages,
That's
where
what I meant. Yeah.
You know, the Pope has like a big say on European matters. In a way, the Jedi are like that. It's church and states. In a way,
but
there's always a light and dark. So if the Jedi become powerful, then there's got to be an equal.
Yeah, but the Jedi are so arrogant.
They think we can wipe out the Sith, don't they?
Yeah. Well, they did. They had this epic battle. It was fucking awesome.
And I think part of...
Well, the Sith were gone for millennia, anyway, weren't they, before Darth Plagueis?
But they did have that epic battle where like shitloads of Jedi fought shitloads of Sith.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's kind of the message of episodes 8 and 9, particularly 9, of the Force doesn't belong to the Jedi.
No.
It's everyone has access to it.
But this is where we fall down with the prequels. Before it was the Force, it binds us. It's a universe, it's like a godlike energy in a way that if you're attuned to it,
it's like
then you can use it.
Yeah.
And then it became scientific.
Biological, yeah.
Biological,
George shot himself in the foot with that, I think. And notice how it was quickly dropped.
All the Jedi are naturally born, aren't they? And, you know, they acquire these, like X-Men, you can't just let them run riot, because they're going to cause problems in society. That's why the Jedi swoop them all up from their young.
Yeah, they do,
teach them to be good and use the Force for good to try and prevent.
So you don't have thousands of Darth Jar Jars running around.
But you'll always have some who are going to think, you know what, I've got this power.
Well, there we go. Power is corruptible. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
I've got to be honest, I think I'd be a bit of a cunt if I was uber Force powerful.
Oh yeah, fuck too right.
I think I would have temper tantrums that would scare the shit out of entire city streets. Like, do you know what I mean?
And I'd be definitely using them Jedi mind tricks in the bar.
Oh yeah, I would use
it. Celibacy be damned.
You'll be like Jim Carrey when you're in Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
You just fit woman walking past and just...
Yeah,
the wind, the skirt.
You know, you do find me sexually attractive.
Yeah, and you know you would.
Yeah.
But then again, you have been indoctrinated. You have been indoctrinated with that since you were like 6, haven't you?
And you'd get to wear a cool helmet.
That's it. And this is the trouble with Anakin. He didn't go to the training at a young age.
No, he was because Tatooine was so far out, and they still had slavery on there. It was so far out the Republic.
But the darkness, was. Oh dear. See, because I was going to say it was the darkness in him, but then he turns good at the end
darkness
of
in everybody.
episode 6. That's true. Yeah, that's the message. But
he can get turned.
He was
turned back to the good as well as in Darth Vader. He gets turned back to the good.
Because the point I made before we started recording, actually, about because I rewatched Return of the Jedi the other night, is I think George deserves a bit more credit for what those prequels actually did to really flesh out the story. Because I was watching the scene where Luke's trying to appeal to Darth. But he's explaining that he must obey his master, and like it hit me. I was like, he was a little 10-year-old kid having fun, riding his.
Well, no, he wasn't. He was a slave.
Yeah, but he loved his pod race and he built his droids. He didn't know he was a slave. He was an innocent. He was an innocent 10-year-old child, right? And then that fucking emperor twisted him so badly to the point where he commit mass murder and do all these horrific things. And like, he used to be just a little boy, and because of the prequels, we actually got to see that journey, and it's fucking pretty awesome. And it mentions that. Sorry, I won't quote it, but in the article it talks about that, the mythology of the fact that he decided to go with Anakin's story, because you're right. By the end of episode 6. It is his hero's journey. He he saves Luke and throws the Emperor down the hole. So to see that entire arc, so we see him from a young child, petulant teenager, murderous 20-something, bit of a dictator for most of his adult life, but then decides, you know what, fuck this, enough, and turns good again. But as we see, his legacy lives on because his descendants. Han's line in The Force Awakens, there's too much Vader in him in reference to Kylo. So I just think it's awesome that you get to see that whole fucking Darth Vader's a badass character.
Oh yeah, he's a fantastic villain.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Ren? That was my criticism.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, it's an hard act to follow, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
they point that out.
That's why I wanted Snoke to be so good as well, and he was a bit weird.
But I like that they address it in Last Jedi. Snoke says literally, take that ridiculous thing off. The helmet. Yeah. And we see he's just a teenager trying to be his uncle, but he's a fucking petulant, but he is powerful as fuck.
Yeah.
I think that's quite and you know, and here's a little bit off subject. I actually go with this one. There's a theory that Han turns on the lightsaber.
Yes, I've heard that theory.
And I quite like that.
Because he says thank you to him.
Yes, and he's asking him, there's something I must do, but I'm not strong enough, I'm being torn apart. And Han knows that if he doesn't kill him, then Snoke's just going to kill him anyway.
Yeah.
So to save his son, he switches on the lightsaber. There's no way of really proving it without asking the director, to be honest. No. But I like that. That's a heroic...
Ironically, that's the way Harrison Ford wanted him to go. He didn't want to do the third film. He was too big.
He thought he should be killed
in the last arc. He thinks he's got no family, he's got no background. Let him sacrifice himself for his friends.
Yeah.
And it would have made the third one a lot more powerful if a main character had died.
It's true, and he wanted out, but apparently It's in one of the things I'm going to read out later. That
He should have done it because they brought him back for The Force Awakens and he was terrible.
He was.
Oh, I loved him in it.
No, he was. No, it wasn't working for me.
Oh,
So
not for me.
You've been with Princess Leia, and you've had a fallout, and now you're smuggling space octopuses. So Chewie seems to be like his carer.
That's a bit of a... That's simplifying a bit. Think about it. His fucking son turned to the dark side.
Yeah.
And joined the First Order, right?
Yeah,
It ruined his marriage.
He
went back to fucking smuggling with his old mate Chewie. You know,
but he's 70, Gaz.
Yeah, but he's a space smuggler. And he's a fucking alien. We call them humans in universe, but let's face it, they're not from Earth. They're fucking aliens.
In all fairness, we don't know what their life expectancy is either.
It could
he could live to 200. We don't know that, do we?
Well, his last 100 years would have been a bit rough, wouldn't they?
Look, each their own. But I
agree with Mike. I think it was a bit.
How about then? There are some awesome moments. Then how about it's emotional, man. It's emotional when that lightsaber goes through Han. The fucking roar that Chewie
Oh yeah,
goes,
that's great.
Wow, oh my god. And then he just goes on a fucking rampage.
Yeah. But they could have done that in the third one.
Eh?
They could have done that in the third one.
They needed to show you.
The Jedi, yeah.
Right, there's a number of things going on here. Han Solo, Harrison Ford wants fuck all to do with any of this. He really does despise everything.
Well, he said in an interview, I watched an interview, he was on an American talk show. He was on some American talk show, like, oh, how did it feel to put on the vest again for The Force Awakens? He's like, felt like I got paid.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it.
So, he didn't want him to do it, but then in story terms, we need something to show us that Kylo Ren, yes, he's a petulant teenage prick, but he is also capable of murdering his father, if he did turn on the lightsaber. But yeah, I love Chewie's reaction to it.
Yeah, I can see that bit, I suppose. Well, I just think they should have gotten rid of him in the third.
Well, let's finish off Clone Wars.
Yeah,
We've jumped out over it.
It don't matter. I love the fight at the end. Stop being the Empire. Stop dictating to me. We're free, man. We're rebels.
He's force choking him.
Do not choke on your aspiration.
Life coach.
Love that line. Yeah, number two.
That was very good.
I love the fight.
It's the end bit.
I love the fight. It's got a name. The battle in the
Geonosis.
Yeah.
So, the clones show up with Yoda. They've gone to rescue Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Padme.
Yeah.
We researched it a little bit earlier. 200 something Jedi jumped in. 30 of them survived. Mace Windu. Love Mace Windu, by the way. One of my favourite characters in the prequels.
Purple lightsaber. Yeah. He don't like Anakin.
He does not. And also, Samuel L. Jackson did say, I will only do the role if you give me a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But Samuel L. Jackson did everything so well.
Kermit the Frog there.
A little bit like him.
But yeah, actually, would you argue that Mace Windu is the second most powerful after Yoda?
Yeah. He's always hanging around with him.
Yeah. Because he beats the shit out of Palpatine in the next one.
Well,
he should have. He would have won.
Yeah, he would have won.
The day is saved, but they know now that there's a Sith Lord because Obi-Wan and Anakin fight Count Dooku, and they know that the Sith are trying to take power somehow, but still don't know if Dooku's the master or the apprentice.
Dooku.
And the thing with Dooku, ably played by Christopher, Sir
Just
Christopher
about.
Lee.
I cannot take his lightsaber fights.
No.
Oh, you get to see. Is it in part 2?
This is like Yoda's the benefit cheat because he's like he walks in on that stick, and he's been claiming his Jedi benefits for all them years.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, that stick's gone. Lightsabers, he's somersaulting all over the fucking place.
I remember. I will never forget in the cinema. I did one of them sort of gasps when Yoda comes in and he doesn't pick his lightsaber off his belt.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, how would Yoda pick up his lightsaber? It just force pulls it into his hand. And I was already like, I'm in. Come on.
He's too lazy to fucking walk on it. He ain't gonna fucking reach across and grab his lightsaber, is he?
What did you think of that fight when you saw it?
I actually quite liked it.
I loved it. I know
he's like Yoda. I want to see Yoda fight.
Yeah, man. He's the most powerful Jedi. Let's see what this motherfucker can do.
Yeah.
And we saw it, man. I remember loving that bit.
So it's Revenge of the Sith.
I love this one.
It's my favourite one at the prequels. Lots of lightsaber fights in this.
A lot.
The Clone Wars are raging. The Jedi are stretched throughout the galaxy. They're thinly stretched. There's not enough of them. They're the only people qualified to act as generals, aren't they? That's the thing.
Senator Palpatine has been captured, I think.
Yeah, he's been captured by the
Grievous.
Grievous and his droid army. They've kind of launched a bit of a sneak attack on Coruscant.
Yeah.
Is the capital city. One big planet-wide, city-wide planet, isn't it, Coruscant?
Yeah.
It's literally... It's like the Washington, in a way, of the Republic, because Washington was created literally just to be a centre of politics, and that's the same with Kashyyyk. It is everybody who matters in the running of the Republic.
Coruscant, not Kashyyyk.
Coruscant, sorry. Yeah. Everyone who matters in the running of the Republic is on Coruscant. The Jedi are there, the Senate's based there, every single governmental building is there.
It looks horrible.
It does, it looks like a living hell.
I wouldn't like to fucking live there, would you?
There's nothing, everything...
I'd prefer to be on Tatooine and that.
Oh, I don't know.
This is open space.
And fucking cool bars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Coruscant's a bit more civilised. There's sand. Anakin doesn't like sand, remember? That's one of the terrible lines. And I don't like sand.
Well, yeah.
Gets everywhere.
And sand people kill your mum.
They do. Yeah. Downside, them sand people, aren't they?
What's your favourite? What the fuck is out?
What's your favourite thing about What's your favourite?
Yeah.
I know.
Why don't they?
Well, they're a menace to the society, sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking pot shots at the pod races.
Just
for
leave
fuck's sake.
sand people traps.
Yeah, or
sand people lives matter.
Yeah.
Hashtag
people too. Well, technically you're aliens, so.
Is it racist though? Isn't it sand people?
Well, do you know what? I never realised, this is how stupid I am as well, and don't really pay attention to anything. I never really put two and two together, that the Empire is exclusively humans.
With a few alien races.
A bit like the Nazis. You know what I mean? They're like, basically, yeah, the rebels are a total mix of weird mad creatures from all over the shop, and the Empire is purely humans.
Although there are, no, not necessarily, there are, in the Senate you see alien races. In fact, you see E.T. in the Senate.
You do?
Race of little E.T.s.
Yeah, but in the actual thing about it, you don't see no aliens working on flying TIE fighters or working on
no,
That's what I mean, they're Nazis.
It's the purity of the human form.
Yeah, space Nazis.
Space Force.
Did you spot in Last Jedi Eddie Hitler?
Yes, he was one of the the Empire First Order bridge officers, wasn't he?
I remember my brother was like, "Is that Eddie from Bottom?" Yes.
Bottom is a British TV show featuring Rick Mail and Adrian Edmondson.
Do you know why he's in it?
Very funny.
How cool would this been? I'm so sorry that we lost Rick Mail, because the director was one of those guys obsessed with British comedies, and he saw a shitload of Bottom on heavy repeat on the BBC channel in America or something. Yeah. He's like, if I ever make a big film, or a film in England, I'm having them two in it. And he would have had Rick and Eddie in the
Rick
scene.
Mail as a snotty Empire officer.
Absolutely fantastic.
You want me to fire the lasers to you? Ooh, he'd have been great as the general, you know.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he?
I like the British guy as well.
Imagine him being force choked, you part of the stupid face.
Him and Eddie punching force choking each other in the bollocks. Comes in with a frying pan. The rebels are through our shields, Eddie! Bang!
Once a bloody again. Time for me.
Excuse me. Look up Bottom if you've never seen it.
Yeah, watch it. Genuinely, it's a fantastic.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Avengers. So this is where Anakin turns the
final
dark side.
showdown.
When Anakin turns the dark side, kills the younglings. Because he's terrified of losing Padme, who he's got an illicit relationship with, and the Jedi aren't allowed to have sex. Or have a relationship of any kind, for that matter, apart from with the Force and their sabres.
He's also...
This is my lightsaber. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
I'm not giving up women when I'm becoming Jedi, by the way.
Well, that's you, mate, that's it.
Well, it's also implied, it's implied that he's had his head twisted a bit by Palpatine.
Yes, he does,
He thinks Obi-Wan's buffing...
Padme.
He thinks there's something going on there. He's insanely jealous.
That's because... he's chosen fear.
Yeah.
Everyone fear leads to.
I fucking love, man. I wasn't expecting it to be that way when I first saw that final Jedi lightsaber fight.
And it is let's do Order 66 first.
Oh yeah, okay.
Order 66 goes out. The clones, you must have had either some kind of something put in their brain to do it, you know, because it's like, oh, that guy's been our fucking...
MK Ultra.
Ultra. Maybe
fucking CIA, the space CIA.
Something put in their DNA to make them obey Palpatine specifically. Because I mean, these guys have been with their Jedi generals for years. You know, there's got to be some kind of camaraderie. They're not emotionless, these clones, are they? They probably are, actually.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure.
Why, yeah.
So they can just turn around and gun down
You don't
there.
want emotional
Oh, no, that's true.
stormtroopers.
It's true, yeah. Very true.
Because you get people like Finn.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, he was taken, wasn't he? He wasn't cloned. They decided.
Yeah.
I love that shot, man, in Force Awakens, actually, of the blood on the stormtrooper helmet when his mate dies. Because we've not really seen much blood, if any.
Well, there's laser kind of cauterises, isn't it?
Yeah, but I just like that image, the bloody stormtrooper helmet. And so
yeah, because they wear all that armour, it does fuck all.
Yeah. But,
yeah, it doesn't do a lot.
You might as well just stick them in helmets like the rebels and I'm done with it.
Yeah, I think they look quite cool in the new ones.
I think
gas masks, so they can't be gassed.
I think it's more like a faceless sort of image, isn't it? Like
Well, in space, they need helmets, don't they?
That's true.
Even on
I think it's more
spaceship.
like a faceless stormtrooper thing. You know.
It probably relays information. Well, it certainly hasn't got a targeting system.
Oh
does it?
fuck no! You think they'd put that in, wouldn't you? Mind you, we'll get to that later on about the accuracy of the stormtroopers and their.
Maybe they haven't got very good guns.
You know. Well, no, I think
they've got a budget. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there's a theory going. What was I saying now?
Well, I might as well say now, but the theory is that the stormtroopers can't hit force-sensitive individuals, and because usually the main characters like Han and Chewie are always with someone who's force-sensitive, they can't be hit either.
Yeah.
So there's some kind of.
Well, there's a force.
The force is kind of making the stormtroopers miss. Because remember episode 4, Alec Guinness to say, "Well, only Imperial stormtroopers are this accurate." You know, well, no, they're not, mate. the following 3 films prove this.
Yeah, he was old though. He was remembering the old stormtroopers.
Ah, maybe he was.
Or
The clones.
Well, the battle droids were shit as well, weren't they?
You'd think the battle
Yeah, but they're battle
droids.
droids.
Yeah, but
You
you'd
expect that,
think.
don't you?
No,
they
I
should have
expect
perfect time.
Yeah.
Roger.
Roger.
I expect the battle droids to have perfect accuracy. They should be hitting 100%, shouldn't they?
Well, you'd think. But
They're going to be linked to their brain. You would think.
I told you, AI.
They're not AI, are they?
Not as good
That's
as
very true. They have to them control ships.
Right.
So he kills the younglings after Order 66 is executed, and all the Jedi. Well, there's at least 10,000 Jedi about apparently, and sort of 10% survived. So there's like 100 Jedi sort of floating around somewhere, maybe.
The unfair odds are 10,000 to 2.
Yeah.
You know, there's 2 Sith.
And remember,
10,000 Jedi. That's where the Sith have to corrupt people and use them to their will.
And remember, that's the Jedi stretched really thin, and having taken like 2 or 3 years of casualties as well. Because they will. I mean, Grievous, as we'll see, will take out a few, won't he?
Yeah.
I like that character.
I liked Grievous.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's move on. So, Anakin.
Let's get to the end.
Yeah. So we go to episode 3.
I'm sure. Anyway, what did you think the first time? Because I was expecting an awesome fight, but I wasn't expecting his arms and legs to go. Like,
I have the high ground.
I loved it, man. He's a fucking paraplegic. His stumps are on fire.
Yeah, he's all on fire. He's burning. His skin's going.
On fire. He's on the edge of a lava bank.
That's his best acting in that bit when he's screaming, "I hate you" to Obi-Wan, who's like been his fucking comrade in war and his mentor and his teacher.
In his head,
effectively
he's
his
been
father.
betrayed. Yeah, exactly. But in his head, his father's just turned on him and betrayed him because he thinks he's in the right, doesn't he?
But Obi-Wan does say, like, "I've got the high ground. Don't make me do this." And he does. You underestimate my power. No, you're gonna. But you know why they sent Obi-Wan?
Democracy.
But you know why they sent Obi-Wan off to do all them sort of solo missions, take Grievous out, take Anakin, because he wasn't the best lightsaber dueler, but he was a master of the defensive style.
Right.
So he could take down someone who was infinitely better than him, who could only attack. Like Anakin was all about focusing his force rage. Because I always think that Anakin got through it with anger. You know,
that's
I think
it turns.
I think that even when he was in the Clone Wars and so, I think he had a focused anger, but at that point he'd lost the focus and it was just pure rage, and that's how he could take down a better duelist in a way.
So then we
That's why he
see.
was said to take Grievous out.
But we see.
Padme losing the will to live.
Well, we literally see
good.
him.
That wasn't a good bit.
We see the transformation that we've all these years wondered what Darth's like under that suit.
Yeah.
We see him being constructed, and we've addressed earlier that no. And then you get to see Luke and Leia being whisked away. The Death Star.
She's lost the will to live. Oh, that was bad. Think of a better way.
Fucking lightsaber in the face.
Or couldn't you just die during childbirth rather than lost the will to live? It's a bit cheesy, isn't it? I mean...
Yeah, but you know, what are you going to do? It's done now.
Is what it is.
Yeah, no, I like Revenge of the Sith. I think its strength...
Oh, it's a good movie.
Its strengths are strong enough to overcome some wobbly bits.
It's the best out of the prequels.
Yeah, easily.
Me too.
Easily.
I would agree.
A New Hope. Well, actually, no, we got Rogue One in between this and Solo.
That's it.
So Solo first. Really enjoyed it. First one of the Disney films I've watched. Apart from The Force Awakens, one of the new batch. Expecting something a little bit like an enjoyable space romp like Guardians of the Galaxy. Didn't get that, but really
Woody
enjoyed
Harrelson
it.
in it.
He was great. He was fantastic.
Beckett.
And
Amazing
Emilia
character.
Clarke's character, she was... and we saw Darth Maul at the end, but it's Han, it's his origin story.
Yeah, man.
And
It's
he
awesome.
says, like, you know, he says to her, yeah, I'm an outlaw. She says, no, you're not, you're a good guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we all want to be Han.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Han more so after watching that film.
Yeah.
He's my favourite character when I was young Han.
Yeah, mate, I would say.
Then he probably changed to Obi-Wan when I got older.
Yeah, I can't say. I think Luke at this point, but I think that's since Last Jedi, to be honest, that Luke's my favourite character. But I love the... Are we talking about Solo? Or
Solo.
Solo, sorry. Love the droid, because I love all the droids in the new films.
Apparently there's a theory going around that basically because of him, because you don't see his droid pattern again in the Empire later on, that because they managed to capture, reprogram him and everything, they cancelled his entire line. So he's just... So not only does that film get a little bit darker, when you realise it's
Which
spoilers.
droid was this again? Because I have to...
You're mixing up the one from Rogue One.
I'm on at the Rogue One, but you never see him again.
K2.
K2 because... Because
he
they realised that they could turn him, they cancelled and scrapped his entire droid line.
Makes sense.
So it's like, oh man, so not only, spoilers, everyone dies, like loads of droids got melted down and remade. Oh man.
Oh man. But I love...
No, Solo was great.
I love L7.
Chewie and Han meet.
Yeah, that's an awesome way. They dealt with that in an ace way.
Yeah.
And hearing a human speak Wookiee was pretty cool. That's how he chills him out. I was just going to say, L7, I love, that's the droid from Solo. I love that she discovers her purpose in life is to free, like, imprisoned droids.
She's always like PMT, is she? Was that the one?
It's the one that, she's like...
confused now.
Oh, feminist.
Yeah, the feminist.
She's basically like restraining bolts. How barbaric, and she's like freeing all the droids and stuff. And,
that's brilliant,
telling them not to fight when they're in the cage and things like that.
And Lando probably had sex with her. I like Lando in this, so he was
Good.
great. I love
Lando's
the fact that the Empire is so fucking grimdark. And I did love the war scene earlier in the film where Han had been sent on the front line.
Did you notice that the man at the desk where he's signing up for the Empire says, "We'll have you flying in no time," and then it literally cuts to Han being blasted through the air on the battlefield. Like,
and looking cool. The AT-ATs are getting... What are the little walkers? AT-AT? The AT-ATs?
Just ATs.
Yeah, they're getting blown apart and you never see who they're fighting, but you're like, fuck me, this is awesome. That's all. This is what I want.
You see Woody Harrelson fucking like an old Western gunslinger, like, spinning his guns around and just blasting people.
And he's obviously he's undercover because he's got them 2 blaster holes in his fucking breastplate arm, and Han notices that.
Who's the commanding officer?
And they're like,
well, you are.
He's like,
oh yeah. He looks down at his own.
Yeah,
and you know something's going on. Then you're like, what's happening here?
Who's recognised? Oh, you are, Lieutenant. Yeah. Looks down at him. Oh shit. Well, some of you guys go left, some of you go right. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. I really enjoyed it. And what's the female actress from Westworld? She's in it. Thandie Newton. She's great. It's a really enjoyable film.
I love that the bad guy who's been chasing them for the whole film then actually turns out to have a really deep character.
Yeah.
It's not just you think it's just run-of-the-mill, nondescript bad guy who looks really cool, but then takes off the helmet and it's like kind of the proto-rebellion kind of thing. They're like the first kind of spark, or they're connected to the rebellion. I thought that was an awesome twist.
Yeah, yeah.
That I didn't see coming.
It was like a girl in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, I like the twists and turns with Beckett. Is he good guy? Is he bad guy?
Yeah.
He's bad. I loved that hand shot first.
Yeah.
And he literally says to him, "Good move. I would have shot you, kid." So that's why hand shoots
but
first.
he'd been, that's a tragedy. He's had to shoot his mentor in a way.
Yeah.
Because he effectively becomes Beckett.
Yeah. If you're in this, you join this life, kid. You're in it for forever.
Yeah. And then of course it ended. There's on Tatooine. There's this the huts and they're looking for people to do this,
do a job.
And then for the next 20 years, he's kind of enslaved to them. The life doesn't work out for him, does it? He can't leave. He's the same as Beckett.
That's why he loves the rebellion when it comes along, and he can't resist helping the princess.
And of course, he wins the Millennium Falcon because he
Love
knows that Lando cheated the first time.
And I love that it's not till the very end of the film, because when you think he's won it, he hasn't in the middle of the film or the start, and then it's right at the end when he actually does win it. It's very satisfying.
Lando puts his arm up, and Han realises at that point he's got a card dealer under his sleeve, little card holder, and he takes the card out without Lando noticing.
Yeah.
And of course Lando sort of reaches down for the card to get the winning hand, and it's not there. Han just sort of smiles at him.
Yeah.
And I liked it's Aaron Eckhart, isn't it?
Yeah, he was excellent.
I thought he was fantastic.
Me too.
I
loved this film.
I didn't miss Harrison Ford in that role at all.
No, because you just intellectually, I'm not speaking for you. For me, what happened was first few seconds I said, this isn't the Harrison Ford biography. It's the character Han Solo. That guy's playing him. So that's it. I'm going to just take it as that and not fucking look for, he doesn't sound like Harrison Ford. Fuck that, it's Han Solo. Exactly, it's Han Solo. And I fucking loved it.
That always bugs me when they try and do it in a way.
Yeah.
It kind of
and I'm sad that the film was hurt at the box office because it was still basically suffering from the backlash to Last Jedi, basically, is what people think happened.
And there was the reshoots thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about them too much. I think Disney's...
Oh yeah, I know they're alright. But the thing is, though, they might be less willing to bang out because they want to do a Kenobi. I want Kenobi.
I want what Obi-Wan's been up to on Tatooine.
Ewan in the desert, in Tatooine, maybe protecting the baby Luke. In stories that we haven't heard about, like maybe someone got close and found out. And so
maybe he's the one that kills Darth Maul later on. I mean,
well, he does that's in universe, isn't it? Because I haven't seen it again, but I read about it in either Rebels or Clone Wars, the cartoon. Obi-Wan ends up facing down Darth Maul by a campfire in Tatooine, and ends up killing him, and Darth Maul dies in his arms on Tatooine. That's canon.
Yeah, so I want to see that.
So I'm not. Do you know what? I looked online. I don't know how to watch Rebels or Clone Wars. I don't know if I have to buy the DVDs.
I've seen Clone Wars, and it's not amazing.
It was on Cartoon Network, wasn't it?
It was. They were like 15-minute episodes.
Right.
Yeah, the young girl was
into.
annoying as fuck.
It was a mishmash. You were jumping from the way they showed it. You were jumping from like Kenobi and Anakin, with a load of jet bike riding fucking clones with lances fighting another army of robots. It was weird to jump into someone else. It gave Grievous a backstory,
right?
And it showed you how Palpatine got captured, so it kind of filled the gap.
Yeah, but it was sort of focused through that teenage Jedi.
Yeah.
What was her name?
I don't remember now.
I think she's quite a big deal in the universe.
It was just so
Isn't she Anakin's Padawan?
Oh, she's one. Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah, she might be.
She was like a typical sort of US teenager.
Yeah. Definitely. It was more for children.
That's
that one, wasn't
it. That's why I didn't get. That's why I didn't like it. I stopped watching it.
But back to link that into Solo, then it's quite a big deal that they're for the first time linking the movies to that cartoon world.
Yeah.
By having Darth Maul appear at the end. Because it's all canon, they're literally saying, this is all in universe, which I think is pretty fucking awesome.
When I was watching the end of that film, I was like, this was enjoyable. It was like the last scene virtually. It's like, that's Darth Maul. Yeah. And I knew about the cartoons, but I never knew, I didn't think they were going to link it all up like that. Oh, fuck me, Darth Maul's coming back, this will be awesome.
Fucking awesome.
Although I don't think it'll have the spider legs.
No, which is why I'm hoping Solo gets a sequel despite the box office, because everyone seemed to... I listened to all the major or the most popular Star Wars podcasts. I listened to their reviews of Solo, and they're all across the board pretty positive, and that's the most hardcore of the hardcore Star Wars fans. So I was thinking, I don't see why people really love this movie. I loved it. I thought
Yeah.
Chewie. I loved all their interplay.
Yeah.
You're seeing them where the bromance begins, basically.
That's it, yeah.
And I loved the shower where Chewie gets in the shower with him. He's like, really? Could we not have done this one at a time?
Yeah.
And then it's quite poignant then, though, after that shower scene. They're sort of out on a balcony thing together, aren't they?
Yes.
And he says, you know, this is our opportunity. We could go and be free. Like, when was the last time you were free? And he, in Wookiee, he's like, yeah, it's been a long time. Because Han says, yeah, it's been a long time for me too. Like, it's quite, you know, they're both from similar. They've been enslaved. They've been, you know, held back, and they want to go and get their piece of the galaxy.
And this is effectively a heist movie. In a way.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the train scene.
And that's what you've got to do with these Star Wars. It's Rogue One next, isn't it? Let's move to Rogue One.
Yeah.
And this is as Han Solo. Is a heist movie.
Yeah.
Rogue One is a war film set in a Star Wars universe.
This
Actually,
is
can we
why-
do a quick piss break?
Of course you can. I've been saying all along, though, haven't I? I can't wait for you to see Rogue One, because you, I believe, will like it, because it's a war film, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad. Yeah, I thought you would.
I did make some observations during that. I'll come to it. So
you have a piss, I'll make a cannabis cigarette.
Fantastic. We're back. So Rogue One.
Yeah, loved it.
It's a war movie in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant.
Oh, mate.
I thought it was the best of the new ones so far. That's my opinion.
Huh?
Yeah, I really, really liked it. I thought it was great. Characters were good, story was good, had lots of action.
Lots of action.
It had a great ending, it was a dark ending. It was
Yeah, it wasn't.
And there's some moments of lightness, there is some comedy in there.
The robot was brilliant.
Yeah, I love that. A cynical robot.
The best robot in the universe so far.
Finally, a cynical, wisecracking robot.
Yeah.
A funny sidekick, which is what we've been lacking for the prequels especially.
Yeah.
You lacked a funny sidekick.
And the world felt
gritty, it was gritty.
Yeah, the world felt real, didn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas the prequels, like we touched on earlier, so much CGI that, you know, it had a certain look to it. Whereas this felt real, dirty, grimy world. You know,
you could have effectively.
Which it should be. The Empire's been in charge, running roughshod over everyone for a long time by this point.
Yeah.
It should look like shit, and.
No, they outnumber the Resistance 1,000,000 probably. I mean, they can just literally, if they really wanted to, bang out another generation of fucking clone troopers.
Yeah.
Because they have been taking. You're assuming at this point they're still taking children and indoctrinating them. And
well, yeah.
I
see it at the very beginning.
See it in Solo as well.
I'd have
the recruitment.
Yeah, I'd have liked to have seen maybe a Captain Phasma in this.
She
Bit of an origin story. Maybe.
She was an awful character. I'm sorry.
She's another Boba Fett.
Yeah.
She looks fucking ace, and
true.
everyone bought the merchandise before the film came out, and then watched it and went, she wasn't fucking in it. She did fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, she's saying this Glendon Christie's a great actress.
Yeah, she's not as cool as Boba Fett though.
No, but I said it's similar.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but she
I'm
had
just saying.
I
she
bought
had
the
the
mug.
cups. Yeah, she had the cups.
I bought the Captain Phasma's helmet mug. That sounds wrong, but yes, I bought the Captain's
she was a
helmet.
terrible character.
Yeah.
I was hoping they'd flesh her out a little bit more in the second one when I saw her. Even though I knew there was only been half an hour left of that film at that point, I was like, well, they're going to give us something to do now.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, we're skipping ahead. Rogue One, it's just I would have liked to maybe seen maybe just a name like Trooper Phasma at that point.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing to look out for next time you watch
Sergeant.
it.
Whatever, you know, something, you know.
Bit of a bitch sergeant.
One awesome little touch to look out for, and I didn't spot this. It was pointed out to me when they at the very end when they fire the blast from the Death Star.
Yeah.
If you watch very closely, because it hits somewhere in the distance, doesn't it? Away from where they're fighting.
Cloud.
But if you watch very carefully, the laser hits that tower where Krennic's lying, sort of wounded and dying.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny that he actually got blasted with the Death Star ray, like directly.
Yes.
Yeah, like after all. I loved that character too. I thought Krennic was an excellent bad guy.
Self-serving.
He had the balls to go to Darth Vader's castle.
Yeah, on Mustafa.
How did you feel about seeing Darth Vader's castle?
I was like,
pretty cool.
It was cool. Why is he? Well, I suppose he could be living in the place where he got his arms and legs cut off as a kind of a reminder to.
Yeah, no, think
and
about that.
And also he's thinking, well, this is where Padme died.
Yes,
so
Padme died. This is where my master, my mentor, turned on me. Is the way he sees it. It's where, like you say, I was turned into this machine, this monster, and maybe he wants to keep that anger and pain fresh because that's what feeds the dark side.
That's it. And,
you know.
I mean, it's a great film. You got the blind, force-sensitive guy there, the keepers of the crystals on the crystal mines.
Donnie Yen, man.
He was brilliant in that.
His first sort of major Western role, and it's as a blind, possibly homosexual, force-sensitive, fucking badass. What a role to land, man. I mean, fuck yeah, and he's excellent in it. I am with the Force is with me.
That's it, yeah. I always forget it for some reason.
I even like Forrest Whitaker's character.
And me.
He's pretty cool.
His acting was strange, but the character's fucking awesome. You here to kill me? There's not much of me left. Cool fucking character. Is he something to do with... He's not part of the rebellion, is he? Is he something separate on their side?
One of them groups that kind of sways between the two, I think.
Oh, okay. Saul Guerrero, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's like he might help the resistance if it benefits him. He might help the Empire if it benefits him.
He went a bit rogue and mental. Maybe. They sort of disassociated with him, perhaps.
Yeah.
Because he was a bit mental, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He wasn't all there.
Based on, and he's quite happy to let that monster touch people and get the truth out of them, but leave them insane. Afterwards. So that's not very nice for the person.
No, it's a bit of a down on your day, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I was sad.
It was a bit of a crimp in your day.
I was sad when he blew up, the Indian guy, the pilot.
Yeah.
I liked his character. I liked everyone, but I've told you boys this before.
Oh, he was the turncoat, wasn't he?
Yeah.
They didn't quite. You know, he didn't quite trust him at the start, did they? But
in the end, he becomes part of the crew, and he does a heroic act towards the end.
They all do heroic acts in that movie. That's the beautiful thing of it. I mean, as it like the embraces that shockwave hit.
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Spoilers: everybody dies.
Oh yeah.
So it hasn't got a happy ending, but we do. Well, I got a happy ending.
Yes.
Not in the Thai massage part.
Yeah.
Happy ending
I was going to say I've had one of them.
But really, were.
No, moving on.
In a Thai massage bar.
So, moving on.
Is it a Thai massage bar in Telford that does that?
No, I was in Milan, unfortunately.
Oh.
That's a different story for a different podcast.
Okay, fair enough. I just, no reason I'm asking.
Right.
Yeah, so
podcast covering about Gaz's hand jobs around the world
called Gaz's Travels.
No. I love that. Trying to get back to the fucking Star Wars, the wonderful, magical Star Wars, and I've forgotten my fucking point.
How tragic.
You're thinking about the hand job in my
I can't know what the fuck I was going to say. I'm sure there's going to be a salient.
The bloke with the best hat on wanker you are as you get shaved.
That sounds like a vision of hell.
A monkey in a fez hat.
Oh, yeah. Well, the barber
You're going to the wrong brothels, man.
I didn't make that up.
Let me take you under my wing.
You've only got one in Telford.
If you're paying for it,
the Turkish bazaar stays in a Turkish bazaar.
If you're paying for it, you can at least choose a woman.
I'll get a shave as well.
She'd probably do anything.
I'm paying for the shave.
Price.
Who's Mike who put that up? Look at me. I know Candies exists, I just don't. I've never been there. Although I know a guy from work that does.
Our sponsor, our proud sponsor of the show, local knock-in shop brothel called Candies, spelled with a K.
Well, the proud sponsors, I want some vouchers or something.
If you're in Telford, look up Candies with a K, tell them we sent you.
We have no affiliation with the local brothel, we just say.
Ben does.
I don't, I should have been there.
Ben was born there on a dark stormy night.
Lightning was cracking. I was conceived doggy style.
Like a horned demon.
That's right, yeah.
By a horned beast.
Exactly.
I want to know how you were conceived.
He was concealed on a giant pentagram by a horned beast.
That's exactly what happened.
Fucking Star Wars, right? Rogue One. Darth Vader.
Oh.
When that fucking lightsaber turns
10 of the
on
best
in the
10 of the best moments, and we can watch the video off air because it's that entire scene with Vader going ape shit on the rebel soldiers. I probably had a twitch at that point when that lightsaber went on. I won't lie to you.
I made a noise in the cinema. I wasn't the only one then. There was an audible, like this is going to be sick. And then he just starts going to town, throwing people onto the roof.
Choking, throwing.
Blocking lasers.
It's Vader at his peak, man. That's what you want to see.
And even though you know they obviously do get the plans out, it doesn't feel like they're gonna, does it?
No.
It gets right up to the last sort of moment, you're like, fuck me. That was close.
I mean, literally, the door malfunctions, doesn't it? I don't know if there's Vader holding it back, maybe, I don't know.
Possibly.
But he just passes in the disc out, like, just take it, and it's
fucking loved it, absolutely. And then I didn't mind the CGI layer at the end. A lot of people hated it.
I had no problem with it.
I didn't mind it at all.
What did
you think of the other one? I've forgotten his name now.
Oh, Tarkin. I actually watched it and thought, that's alright, to be fair.
Can I tell you?
Apparently a lot of people hate it.
Yeah, can I tell you, this is God's honest truth. Now, I do usually tend to get quite high before I ever go to the cinema.
Seems reasonable.
Because why not? We come out of Rogue One, and my eldest brother, who is old enough to have gone to see Star Wars the first time round, I don't think he saw A New Hope, but he definitely saw the Empire at the cinema. We walked out, and he was saying like, "Oh man, Tarkin looked amazing, didn't he?" And I was like, "Yeah," thinking, "What's he talking about Tarkin for?" And he's like, "You know, I hardly knew it was CGI." And on my mother's life, I was like, "It was CGI." And my brother said, "Mate, he was an old fucking. He was like in his 80s in the original trilogy.
65.
Like, what did you think?" I was like, "Oh yeah, of course." He's like, "That was an entirely CGI character, and I just was either that stoned or that into it."
108 now or something.
I didn't. Obviously now though, I realise I'm more because watching it back, I'm like, how did I not know? But I think I was just that plus 3D glasses. But I just didn't.
I remember the 3D option.
It didn't fucking hit
never
me
go
until
with-
afterwards.
I never go
I
with
knew
3D
Leia
option.
was obviously.
Yeah.
I'm not a total moron, but yeah, honestly, it was that. I've watched it a couple of times since, and it is kind of uncanny valley, isn't it? At some points, I think it's fucking epic.
I think on the whole, 98% of the time, I think it's pretty good.
Considering he is very dead. And I'll just give it, I've told you boys this story before, I love this story. Because it's a sort of a family tradition now for us all to go and watch the new Star Wars movies together. And my niece, who was 16 at the time, I think. You know, you buy the cup at the cinema and it's got whatever the big movie at that time is on the cup. And it was the Rogue One cup with all the characters on it. And we were stood outside the cinema after the film, and my niece looked up solemnly and said, "Everyone on this cup is dead." And I was like, literally every single character on that cup is dead. Now, how many big blockbuster summer, or it might not have been summer, but you know what I mean, big blockbuster hero movies do you come out of and say, yeah, they all died, but they died
Saving
for a
Private
reason.
Ryan.
That's a good point. But they died for a reason.
In fact, you know what? That film probably was Saving Private Ryan in space.
I guess so.
With a different,
but they weren't looking for Ryan.
Well, no, but it was like they were looking for something. That's the quest, isn't it? You know, that's an interesting point, actually. And the one thing I did notice actually was when the rebel troops dropped. I did love the very British X-wing fighter commander, squadron leader with his fantastic RAF moustache. Yeah, that was fantastic.
That's a Star Wars tradition because they're filmed in London, so you have a load of British actors, like, because you're not going to ship them in for America if you don't have to in all these bit parts. Yeah. So I like that they stick with that though.
Yeah.
It's kind of.
But it was if you want, and this is also the rebellion at kind of their peak as well, isn't it? They're just coming up to the. So they've got the ships and the fighters and everything.
Yeah. I love that Leia's dad says, because you don't know Leia's going to turn up and they're on about where the plans are going to go. And I'm like, can you trust him? He's like, oh, I trust her with my life. Yeah. And then you see her from behind, and I thought that was all it was going to be. But then she fucking turns around and says there's a new hope, and then credits roll, and I'm like, fuck, I want to see A New Hope now. Because it literally starts, doesn't it use footage? I think it uses a bit of the guys running, and it cleverly edits. But man, it makes you want to put New Hope in, doesn't it? And then literally picks up from that point. And then like you realise how many people died to get those plans, and it adds a new level.
Sadly, that's where the continuity issue comes in, because in episode 4, I can't remember the name, the lady in white who was like the... I don't think is she head of the rebellion or just the spokesperson?
She seems quite important.
She seems quite important. She's got that white toga thing going on. Yeah. And she's like, many Bothans died to bring us this information. Well, Bothans...
What the fuck's a Bothan?
Well, in the very first Star Wars Battlefront, you could play as a Bothan spy, and they were like an alien race.
What they look like?
They were like almost like a big dog. Not like a Chewbacca style dog, but like a hound dog kind of thing going on with their face.
Right.
And they like, you know, they had every class has certain abilities, but you could play as this Bothan spy. And so I always took it, but then again, that might not be canon anymore.
That's true.
I mean, Bothan's now might be some sort of unit name for, you know.
You never know.
I don't know. But that was...
Maybe somebody else took credit for what the Rogue One crew did.
Well, they all died, so maybe there was a Bothan bloke on this
fucking
ship.
bastard.
And
Like
he's
them people who claim to be at 9/11 but weren't there.
Yeah, and so he's like, oh, loads of my mates died, but I've got the plans for you.
Bastard.
Or maybe they thought
Why the money over?
a film about dog-faced people won't do as well.
There is that.
Point,
there is also that.
Good point. Well
but
made.
when they managed to drop some reinforcements through the gap in the shield, I realised that all the rebel soldiers wore like almost World War II GI pattern helmets,
awesome.
but slightly more beefed out. But it was like chin straps on. It was very much like a World War II movie.
War film,
They're
man.
coming down the landing boats. They've got the chin straps undone, the helmets. And they just look like GIs from World War II, but with laser guns, and it's like in the future. And who were they fighting? Effectively Nazi stormtroopers. And there was a very much.
I like the whole. I like the fact that I'm shit with names, but is it Jyn Erso, the main character, the girl, that her father built in the weakness?
Oh yeah, that's the only time that you actually fucking see a stormtrooper hit somebody properly.
Well,
and they are the black armoured ones.
I love that it explains that though, because why could Luke shoot down a little poop chute, right, and blow the whole fucking thing up? Well, because this geezer who felt guilty for being forced to work for the Empire built in a fucking backdoor. A fault.
Because you
fucking love that.
Yeah, because I mean, let's face it, you're the Empire. You've got these people building this shit. You know, well, that tiny weakness there, that's an issue. It's got to be the guy who designed the thing, hasn't
That's it. Because see, the Emperor don't know the fucking detailed schematics
not
of
even
the fucking.
Not even the commander would know.
Exactly.
No.
So I love that. I think that was so because
And
obviously
Mads
he didn't
Mikkelsen,
want
great
to work.
actor.
He didn't want to work for the Empire. He was
No.
forcibly taken away from his family. He shot his wife.
Yeah.
You know, and good on him. So we've basically sort of got him to thank for the first Death Star being destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if he doesn't build the weakness, it doesn't matter how much force Luke's got. So yeah, I loved it. Really loved it.
Yeah, and Mads Mikkelsen, great actor.
Yeah.
Excellent.
He's awesome.
And I like that it looked like the way it opens as well. That sort of grassy marsh planet. That's new for a start. Like
Star Wars is grimdark.
Yeah.
It's very grimdark. That's why I enjoyed Solo and Lando with his outlandish capes, because he was the only one fucking swanning around. Although I noticed that all the Empire soldiers in that film because of sort of had capes on. That's impractical, isn't it? Looks
They look cool though.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it was good. It was a great movie. I really enjoyed it.
My favourite of the new ones. It was.
Yeah.
I think Last Jedi beats it for me.
I love the Last Jedi.
Good. It was good.
And barring that casino bit, which we'll get to in the next episode, we're going to split this into two parts.
Because we've got another week, honestly, it improves on repeat viewing. It really does. There's just little bits that you miss, little clever lines, like, oh shit.
I'm curious to watch it again.
Yeah, well, I'll save it for next week. But there's like a reason why is Luke dressed up in his Jedi master gear. Stuff that's there, subtly you can work out that he's tried to light the tree on fire numerous times, but he always fails. And he likes to dress up like it's ceremonial to do it. And the rest of the time he's in like his fucking fishing gear and stuff, isn't he? Like,
I thought that they were like issued those garments. If you were it's like it was like being a Buddhist monk. If you're a Buddhist monk, you wear that.
Yeah, but he doesn't wear it all the time. He's specifically putting it on to go and do it. Loads. I fucking love that movie. And next week we'll touch on the conspiracy around it, because if you've tuned in listening because it's Star Wars, if you've not listened to us before, we're essentially a comedy conspiracy theory podcast. We occasionally bit of true crime. We occasionally do movies. So next week we are going to get into some of because there are some conspiracies surrounding The Last Jedi that are quite interesting actually. Yeah. And we'll touch on it a bit this week, won't we, with our game show Never Go Full Alex, which we're going to play in a bit.
Yeah.
Could we have a pee break, dear chaps?
Yes, of course, old boy. So we're going to carry on the Star Wars Symposium in another episode, because we feel we can't do the Can't do the original trilogy, the OT justice.
Nah, and I want to talk about Star Wars 2 weeks running.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
I think we all do, to be fair.
I
we all love talking about Star Wars.
I want to watch those last few films again. To be
Yeah.
fair. If I can get them in this week, I'll go for that.
Good on
So, weird news. We'll finish on a bit of weird news and full, Alex. So, what have we got for weird news?
Let's get the boys' views on this week's weird news.
We mentioned this about the Millwall guy earlier.
Yeah, it's an interesting one from the Evening Standard, a UK paper. I locked myself in a car as Westminster bridge attacker struck, says Met Chief, and that is the Metropolitan Police. The Chief of the Metropolitan Police is locking himself in his car, probably his chauffeur-driven car, probably armoured as well, I'd imagine.
What a hero.
Yeah.
A Met Police chief locked himself and two unarmed colleagues inside his official car for protection as terrorist Khalid Massoud stormed the gates of Parliament, he told an inquest today. Deputy Commissioner Sir Craig Mackay was leaving a meeting when the absolutely determined extremist burst into the Westminster grounds armed with two kitchen knives. Massoud, 52, had already killed 4 people by driving into them on Westminster Bridge and would go on to fatally stab unarmed officer PC Keith Palmer. Thank you for your service. That's not said ironically. Sir Craig, then the Met's acting commissioner, said his first instinct was to secure his chauffeur-driven car.
You're right, Ben. One chauffeur-driven.
Yeah. I was sitting in the car with 2 other people. One colleague had clearly seen what was going on, he told Massoud's inquest at the Old Bailey. I locked the doors. We had no protective equipment, no radios, and we would have been in a ministerial meeting and literally came out of that. So, but the bobbies on the street, the first responders, would have had a can of mace and a baton.
Yeah. Wouldn't he just say one of them was unarmed and he got killed?
He would, yeah, he would.
That's what he just said in the article. So he still went. Went and confronted the attackers, even though he was unarmed, and he died.
So he also says that I could see the man moving towards one of the officers that I now know to be Police Constable Palmer. I could see PC Palmer appear to be moving backwards and going down. I saw 2 stabbing attempts. I couldn't see whether they connected, but it was 2 absolutely determined stab attempts. And at that point, he did not get out of his car and go and aid his officer, who is probably one of his subordinates. What a cunt.
That's what these people are, Ben.
Sir as well.
Carry on, listen to that fucking paragraph there, makes me sick.
Asked why he had locked his car doors, Sir Craig told the inquest he knew that if he would have made himself a target if he had confronted Massoud.
So basically, look, I didn't want to get fucking stabbed.
Yeah.
There was already one dickhead in uniform out there.
I'm happy for my police officer who's below me to put his life on the line.
Yeah, but I'm
not
locking
the car.
Yeah.
I'm a sir now. I was conscious my 2 colleagues were not police officers. They had no training, no background.
Could have locked them in the car.
Yeah. If anyone got out, the way that Massoud's
That's what they do in action films.
Yeah.
You stay here, I'll be back.
I'll go out. He's the fucking head of the fucking one of the heads of the Met, which is the sponsor, the police forces. Greater London has 2 police forces.
Yeah.
There's the Greater London Police Force, which deals with majority 90% of London, and then you got the Met, and they're meant to be the boys. That's what the flying squad is. The Met. The armed squad, you know?
Right.
They control that little sort of bubble of government around London, in the centre of London. And he locked himself in his fucking car while he's...
watched.
It was also, I went, okay, the PC Palmer would have had his stab vest on, but no, he ain't, a kitchen knife now, he ain't stopping it. And he's well, I was unarmed and unarmed. No, fuck you, get out there and set a fucking example. You're a leader, aren't you?
Well, no, he's a fucking massive pussy.
And he's a sir.
Yeah.
Didn't knights used to be called sirs? Knights who prove their valour in battle.
We're looking at his picture now. He looks a lot like...
He's a gammon.
He looks a lot like Kyle Gass from Tenacious D.
He does.
Yeah. In other words, mate, you're out of shape. You haven't got it in you anymore, and you're taking a job for the fucking money. Get out of my fucking way. I'm Millwall blokes better than you.
Yep.
You pussy.
Alright, enough of him then, yeah?
Yeah, he's made my blood boil. Twat.
Alright, we got some good news then.
Oh, we've seen this one.
No, this is an update.
Oh, fantastic.
So this is quite a happy bit of news.
Oh, good. Good. Okay, so Greece bans fat tourists from riding donkeys after animals. It's not a funny headline, it's not the way they said fat tourists.
It is a funny headline, man. It's got the words fat, crippled and donkeys.
That's not funny. I don't see fat, crippled donkeys.
Yeah, but they're all funny words.
Oh yeah, I suppose so. After animals are crippled by obese holidaymakers, the Greek government has banned, and that's in capital letters, that is gammon screaming capital letters, fat tourists from riding on donkeys after campaigners claim the animals are being crippled by obese riders. Earlier this year, images were released of donkeys climb the narrow steps on the stunning Greek island of Santorini, laden down by obese holidaymakers. Now, the country's Ministry of Rural Development and Food has published a new set of regulations stating the donkeys given tourist rides in Santorini should not carry any loads heavier than 100 kilograms or 1/5 of their weight. The move comes after animal activists on the island claimed that with obesity on the rise, donkeys are being forced to carry ever heavier loads while they work long hours, 7 days a week, without shelter, rest and water, leaving them with spinal injuries and open wounds from ill-fitting saddles. Poor little donkeys.
So, good news for donkeys?
Yeah.
Good news for the donkeys.
Bad news for the fatties, good news for the donkeys.
No, it's good news for them too, because they can walk up the stairs, lose some weight, not get diabetes.
Excellent.
There we go.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
It's a rare happy ending.
But, you know, Tracy
back to the wanking.
Tracy from Liverpool, who's 20 stone and only eats chips, you know, she might have a heart attack going on them steps.
Yeah.
But
and two Bernie lasses that shit in crisp packets.
Oh, they definitely have a heart attack.
God will just gain another angel.
Exactly. And you know what, the donkeys are alright. I'd rather have the donkeys alive than them.
Well,
if that makes... Does that make me sound bad?
No. Just psychotic. But no, I'm joking.
Well, that's all I've done for the last 54 episodes.
Alright, one more piece of news.
Yeah. You're just happy too?
Kind of.
Okay.
Can I read this one, please?
Yeah.
Fake camel-toe knickers exist, and people don't know what to make of them.
A camel toe, I presume. Just before we start, am I passing this on?
No. That's
fantastic.
Spliff
politics.
I can't imagine there's anyone listening who doesn't know what a camel toe is, but it's when you can clearly see the
vaginal lips,
the shape, the definition of one's vaginal area.
It would be like if I was... Well, there we go. There's a perfect example. And she looks distinctly underage, which is disturbing.
She looks a lot like a camel's toe.
She also looks underage. That's disturbing from the mirror. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the mirror.
There's a picture of a young girl in shorts with this camel toe panties.
Scroll up. On Amazon, the product description reads, quote, "Get freaky with these new sexy camel toe panties. These sexy underwear let you bring a camel toe wherever you go.
Oh, nice. I like that.
You can be sure that you will leave an impression on the people you meet."
Certainly will.
Oh man. People on social media have spotted the interesting underwear and do not know what to make of it at all. Several people commented to say they just don't understand why the product would exist. One wrote, "Why do they sell camel toe panties on Amazon?"
That's a
wow, what
perfectly
amazing
valid question.
Yeah.
Another said, "Panties that gives you a camel toe? Why is this a thing?"
I think it's not even a subtle one, is it?
It's a big camel toe.
It's more of a moose knuckle.
I remember that meme. Moose knuckle. Wow.
Here's a slight explanation. Some reports suggest the trend has been popular in Japan.
Oh, that does not surprise me.
Where some women want to accentuate their lady parts. But some people on social media are baffled why women would pay money to look like they have a camel toe when you could use your own.
Well, it's like shoving a pair of socks down your cycling shorts, isn't it, for insecure men, I suppose?
I guess so. Okay, it says there at the bottom, there's actually a really good reason why they exist, as some ads indicate the fashion trend has been adopted by trans women because they're great at hiding bulges. Fair enough.
Well, alright. So we get the creepy underage girl wearing it though. They chose to go with their headline.
Well, she's a creepy underage tranny girl, and they've doubly tricked us.
Yeah.
They've been tranny tricked.
I don't know where I stand on that now. No, wait, she's still underage. That's bad.
Well, shall I wear a pair to work tomorrow and really freak everybody out?
Yes. Yes, you should.
I'm transitioning. I have grown my hair out, so
exactly.
That's the reason.
I'll buy a pair, just sneak them into Leona's underwear and see if she notices.
My fanny's not good enough for you.
Maybe, but the thing is, they look quite big.
Yeah, it's significant.
I think she might notice that they're that
I know
big.
what my missus walking around with them on. Everyone's going to be staring at her clunge.
Trump would be on a field day with them, wouldn't he?
There'll be fucking bus drivers crashing into stops while we're walking down the street because they're fucking staring at the 6 foot long fucking cleavage in her knickers.
Trump, I think Trump's behind this. I think it's a conspiracy theory.
Make him grab the pussies.
Yeah.
Oh god. You know, I made millions from selling camel-toe underwear because I'm a genius.
They're going to have Make America Great Again written over the front of them soon.
Fucking hell. Right, I think that does it for
All
fucking
right.
weird news.
Alright, weird news is done. Let's go full Alex. So the Full Alex, the most popular game show in this flat. Each week Mike finds us a couple of random internet weirdos he's found, and then they go against Alex, which in this today's, because it's a symposium of Star Wars, is about Star Wars. Alex talks about Star Wars.
And then we have to decide who's talking the most cockwash this week. Who's the most mental this week? Because, ladies and gentlemen, never forget, conspiracies are fun. They should be fun. But never go full Alex.
No, not half Alex. Not even a quarter Alex.
Sometimes you can go half Alex.
You've been half Alex
Yeah,
before.
I've half Alex on a few subjects, but never full Alex. Never full.
Like that lost footage on the train.
It is lost, right? Anyway, moving on.
You deleted that.
Moving on.
Have you?
I don't know, I think it's on my old phone to be perfectly
Oh,
honest
it's cop
with
out.
you.
Might be
It's not a cop out.
It might be somewhere stored on
It's
whatever,
on my
on
old
cloud
phone.
or whatever it is. It might have backed up to that.
That was the cat, not us.
Oh yes, we have. I've read a few posts on podcast pages this week that
you're not supposed
decried animals entering the room.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, apparently according to the podcasting experts, you're not supposed to draw attention to the fact that an animal entered the room, but this animal lives here. We, unfortunately, aren't the kind of podcast
Me and Gaz don't live here.
Yeah, we can't afford a bloody studio. We're in our friends, we're in Mike's fucking apartment.
Yeah.
It is flat. I'm sorry.
1 bedroom flat.
If
Set up in a 1 bedroom flat.
Well, we're doing the best we can. We haven't got soundproofing. We're not on that sort of budget, alright? We do the best we can, and the fucking cat lives here, and sometimes he's an inconsiderate little fucker, and he knocks
As most cats are.
Yeah, and he knocks the things and makes noises, so... Yeah, fuck that post, Ben. I read that post too. I was like, oh, get over yourselves.
He's our
we're
show
not,
cat.
we're not working for the BBC, it's a fucking podcast.
At the end of the day, there's a few things we have, a common recurring theme with this show. We have the three patron saints of the show, St. Tony, St. Alex, and St. Ike.
Yeah.
Right? We have the show cat. We have a rampant unprofessional professionalism.
Yes.
And occasionally one of us will belch.
And we also finish the show a lot drunker and stoneder than we start the show.
Bingo. It's helped my hangover no end though. I feel great.
I mean, it might be horrible.
I feel great right now. I am like 110%.
I mean, I don't know about the listener. They might not enjoy it. It might be horrible to listen to, but we have a fucking laugh doing it, don't we? So
it's therapy for me. This is. It's my weekly vent. It's fantastic. I can't say shit at work nowadays. It's awful.
You can't say shit anywhere apart from podcasts. So let's play the game.
No for work listens to this. Don't think they do. It's all right.
Were you trying to get crazy with this, eh? Don't you know I'm loco?
Do you want to introduce the clips, Mike?
Yes.
Yep. First up, we've got Chris McDonald that says opposition to Trump is opposition to God himself.
Wow, I think we've seen this particular lunatic before, have we not? He's the next wannabe Alex, I think.
Okay.
Go on then, let's crack on with this fucking lunatic.
Nobody needs to worry about the attacks on our president from the press and the attacks of the Dems, because let me tell you something, these people do not realize they're not just coming up against Donald Trump. When God anoints a man, I'll say it like this, God's plan and God's will are two different things. God's will rarely gets done on this earth. That's why Jesus had us pray, Lord, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, because a lot of times God's will is not done. God's plan, something else. I believe that Donald Trump was God's plan for America. And people that get in the way of that plan need to realize that it's not the man they're getting in the face of and in the train of, they're getting in the way of God himself. I would stake my life on that claim right now, because I've watched too many things go on in these last 18 months of this man's presidency that lets me know that God is directing him. The leadership part of him, Butch, is God-driven and is God-anointed. And we had better respect that, or we're going to face consequences in this country we don't want to face. And I dare say this, because I know people are going to misunderstand what I'm about to say. But a lot of his detractors, a lot of people that have been the most harshest coming up against him are either in jail or they're dead. And I'll just leave it at that. And they need to realize that this is not by mistake, that God is protecting this president.
So
don't oppose Trump.
Are we saying that
because you're opposing God?
Are we saying that opposing God is now slang for corrupt governmental system?
No.
Is that what we're saying?
But don't oppose him, Ben, or you will end up in jail or dead. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Who's killing these people? I haven't heard anyone die.
God! He smites them with his mighty smite.
Oh, not his mighty smite.
Yes.
Oh, man. Do I have to go home and paint a red cross in lamb's blood over my door?
To protect you, yes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And smear yourself in Vitalite.
Oh, I did have a... Vitalite? Fuck me, Mike. That's in the 80s, for fuck's sake.
Vitalite.
Fucking hell. Oh, that is... apologies to our phone listeners. That is an incredibly old advert for a brand of margarine called Vitalite that for some reason Mike has just triggered our collective memory of, because they were very iconic adverts. Not as iconic as the Jolly Green Giant.
Well, no.
Never quite knew if he was evil or not.
Oh, bless him.
Don't bless him, he could be evil.
He's just being greenest.
Right. Maybe I am. I don't know. Why do you always have that toga of leaves?
Well, you didn't want him walking around with his big giant green dick hanging out, did you?
Worked to Watchmen, but that's
No, it didn't. It was horrible.
It
You're watching that film, you're like, I'm trying to be mature and I'm not going to look at the dick, look at the dick! It's a fucking dick! It's a fucking dick! Blue dick!
In all fairness, didn't need to see the blue dong.
No, it didn't add anything to the film.
Well, it did. It emphasised his lack of his dwindling humanity. He didn't care about clothes as much. He didn't see the need for them. That's what it was meant to emphasise.
Yeah, but it could have showed him from the waist up.
It could have.
Full
Yes,
waist
it
down.
It could have maybe just one glimpse brief of blue dong.
It
And
could
then
have been
never
like
again.
in Austin Powers where everything covers his dick. Like, everywhere he is, there's an object in the foreground.
Yeah, they could have done it that way.
Yeah.
Give him that. Yeah. Even so, that's what it's meant to represent. Alright, who's the next lunatic?
Next up, Andrew Womack says liberals are crazy, evil, and demon possessed.
That's you.
Are you demon possessed, Mike?
Maybe.
Oh man. Gaz, get the holy water. It's happened again.
I don't like garlic.
That makes you a vampire.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
There's no crucifixes in here though. There's still lack of them.
Yeah, because I'm a fucking...
Keep on always...
agnostic, I'm not going to have fucking crucifixes on it. Actually, I should have one of everything, shouldn't I?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. What's happening?
You know, I believe that the average person just would never act the way that they see some of these people acting, and they think, well, you wouldn't act that way unless it was real.
Yeah.
But it's like Rolf was saying, that this is, I believe it is pure evil. There is evil fighting to destroy lives and stuff, and I think that we've got some people in positions of leadership that are demon-possessed. I know this is not politically correct.
It's amazing to me. We normal, average, everyday people, especially Christians,
it's hard for us to really even envision that people could be that evil, that they could be so diabolical to, assassinate an innocent man's character like this. But what we don't understand is how much those people want power. They worship that power, and they will do anything to keep it and get it. And it's time that we realize our enemy is spiritual, but that enemy is working through people, and they are willing.
That is flesh, but I believe it is inspired by demons.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a spiritual battle. We are fighting for the heart of America, and we've said this many times, but these midterm elections, I think, could be more important than the 2016 elections, because they've already said that they will impeach Kavanaugh if they win in the midterms. They said that they will impeach Trump, and I mean everything that we've been seeing moving in the right direction is going to go back the other direction if these midterms go the wrong way.
It's so maddening in a way that we're down to this balance of, now it's like between 5 to 10% of turnout will determine whether or not we can keep this going. If Christians only knew what is at risk right now and what God is doing on behalf of America and what chaos wants to get loose if we don't. It's like having a wild animal on the street, and are you going to leave your door open or shut the door and lock it? Just shut the door on the devil. That's all you got to do.
I know I'm painting with a broad stroke, but liberals are crazy. They are malicious.
Rush
they
Limbaugh
are
used to say
evil.
they have a mental disorder.
And the Republicans aren't as, I mean, there's people on both sides that are the exception, but as a rule, liberals are vicious, mean.
Oh, liberals are vicious and mean. That's like all peace and love and everything. These people are fucking war hawks.
I just really enjoyed that guy's perfect grey hair.
It
was
a bit
immaculate.
lizardy.
He did, didn't he? But that haircut was definitely a holograph. It was too perfect. That haircut. It was a holographic projection.
Right.
I don't understand how liberals can be evil.
Well.
I mean, when all they
There's
want...
exceptions on both sides, Mike.
There is. Well, don't get me started on liberals that want to control everybody's language and
We've been
things
there.
like that, you know.
So not calling you Lord
I don't think
Bertrand,
they're evil, though. I don't think they're evil. It's misguided. But then again, fuck them.
Would we argue that he's misguided?
Yeah.
Or is he
believes
just...
in God.
I'm starting to think with these... The more I see these Christian guys doing this segment on the show, I just think they're all trying to one-up one another. Can I say I'm going to say the most batshit crazy insane thing this week. That Jesse Peterson's winning for me. Oh.
Right, let's see what the man himself...
The man. Star Wars rant from Alex.
So, it's the death of good cinema that's got Hollywood down 20% this year, 30% over the last 10 years. Previous, that's 50% in the last couple decades. Their worst year ever this year. This new film, if you could call it that, The Last Jedi, is like the last Star Wars movie I think I can ever watch, because it's like Russian roulette to go see this. And it had some great graphics and some fun stuff in it, but subjecting myself and my children to every bad guy being a man and all of the commanders being women, like 7 deep, like this commander dies, so it's this woman, and then it's this woman, and they go, the chain of command, it goes to this woman, and the chain of command, and it's all about women are in the chain of command. Beat me over the head, beat me over the head. I mean, I get, like, you know, don't have stereotypes, show that women can be in power positions. This is that hasn't happened throughout history. From Cleopatra to Joan of Arc, you name it. I'm a lot of times in bad roles, you know, Margaret Sanger, the list goes on and on. Queen Elizabeth II, you know, known admitted Nazi howling Hitler, but that's okay, according to everybody, because she's liberal. But this is just beating you over the head to patronize women and to show them in SWAT team uniforms running around and to be the police and to be in charge, and the men are a bunch of idiots that have to be put in line, and it just goes on and on. And then poor Carrie Fisher, who you could see her tweets and videos before she died, and that was during the filming. She died right at the end of filming. She died right as it ended. She flew back. I'm not saying it's a star murder or anything, but we know in Hollywood sometimes when they think you're finally done, if you die right after your last record, your last movie, then it triples or quadruples your portfolio. But she just completed it perfectly, flying back, I guess celebrating or whatever, and had a bunch of different drugs in her systems and things. And I'm very sad for her. Thought she played the goddess archetype very, very well, did a great job in the first films, had a long life, a lot of substance problems. A lot of us have been affected by that, or had family with this, so I don't put her down. But it was like watching an under-the-bridge dweller, like we have near the office, who I try to bring food and stuff, who she looked like basically an old lizard that lived under a bridge or something that could hardly talk. And then she's blown out into space and doesn't freeze to death in instant seconds or anything. Science is suspended, and I know it's fantasy. And then Mary Poppins flies back into the spaceship, okay? I mean...
I agree with all that.
And all these new films, like Communist China always saves us in every movie, whether it's The Martian with Matt Damon or whether it's Arrival, the communist president, who's unelected, always saves America because our rockets can't boost or we can't talk to the aliens. But, because China, communist China, has just bought up most of the Hollywood studios. They bought controlling interest in almost all of them, 5 of the big 6 right now. They're trying to buy up some of the other ones, too.
Start with that. Yeah, so while I agree that Carrie Fisher, R.I.P.D., had some substance abuse issues.
But he's saying they killed her.
They're saying they killed her off just to boost the film.
Yeah. Well,
see, I watched that movie recently, literally Friday night, and the fact there was women in leading roles didn't bother me because Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, leader of the rebellion from A New Hope,
and also
would make sense that there was, her best pilot was a man. Maybe the admirals. But if they're good, if anyone's good enough for any role in that kind of military scenario, the rebellion, you're just going to give them the job. It doesn't matter the man or what. It's just him ranting.
It's a reflection of society. We are more equal society, therefore, in our films and in our entertainment, there's going to be more representation.
I mean, all right, okay. In the OT,
and when Sigourney Weaver got the alien and she was the main protagonist, that had never happened before, really.
No, it hadn't.
The female had the leading role, and she was the.
No, I agree, but I used. Okay, in the first films, the OT, the original trilogy. Wasn't that many women, was there? But the ones that were there were strong characters.
Yeah, there were women in power. There was black guys.
Yeah. Lando, the only black guy in the universe.
As I said earlier, though,
apart from Finn, obviously.
I know everyone hates the Mary Poppins Leia bit, but technically she was still within the protective shields of the ship. That's why she didn't die. And she's a fucking Skywalker. Okay.
I just thought it was unnecessary.
I think the thing might be the fact that she's more a Skywalker. And the shield. I don't know what the shield does with oxygen levels. No idea.
The first thing I thought was Mary Poppins in space.
It was.
That was my.
I did think to myself, that's very pushing a bit. But
I just thought
it didn't take it away from the movie.
You had to give Leia a moment to show that she's got the Force and can use it powerfully.
Yeah, and the fact that she's almost like a Jedi but never done anything with it.
Yeah, she's never been trained. She's Force sensitive, let's say.
But I think she knows what she can do.
Well,
I think maybe in a private moment.
I assume that over this period of time that Luke has taught Leia 1 or 2 tricks, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a possibility. Now, in the original expanded universe, she carries a lightsaber and Luke did train her.
Oh, awesome. Well, what do we think about these 3 lunatics then? So Alex is essentially saying Carrie Fisher was killed by the film company and it's an SJW agenda to beat us over the head and tell us that women are better than men.
And then we've got...
And then, what are the other 2?
Chris McDonald says opposition to Trump is opposition to God.
He was quite a loony.
And you've got Andrew Womack that says liberals are crazy, evil and demon-possessed.
Well, he's got to win it, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think number 2's got it for me. Alex is just giving a shit film review.
Yeah.
That's not very accurate.
I think Alex is jumping on a bandwagon.
He might have been responsible for it. We'll touch on that last week. We are going to discuss the backlash and the weirdness of the critics loving it, fans being divided in 2. But then some theories are the fans aren't really divided in 2. It's just been whipped up that way in media.
Russian bots.
So we think we're arguing over it more than we actually are.
What if Putin's plan to bring down the West is to slag off Star Wars?
Well, to bring down our mythology.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, well, it didn't work on me.
No, it didn't work on me. I really enjoyed it.
Star Wars in my heart forever.
I've made it no secret that I hate The Force Awakens. I hate it when I saw it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't jumping. I went to go and watch it. Me and Mike went. It was like I am fucking so excited for this. I just found it lazy. I found it lazy. But when I watched Rogue One, Solo, and last year, fuck me, these are great.
They're well-made films. That's the thing. That's the difference. So yeah, but we will fucking nail all that, won't we? In great detail next week in part 2 of our symposium.
Actually, I think I said to Mike when I came out of the cinema, I've never felt so let down coming out of a cinema in my life.
Come on, mate.
I think you said that after the zombie film with Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, World War Z. Yeah.
I feel bad for you, man. 'Cause I honestly,
I think maybe both.
What do you think it happened to me then? Because I got swept up in the magic because it was released at Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it was because we all went as a family. I loved Rey, the character. I loved her theme as well, music theme. I really like that bit. And I don't know, I just think I just got swept up in the nostalgia and the magic, and I loved BB-8, which helped a lot.
I do like BB-8.
I love in Last Jedi his badass action moment.
Yes, that was good. Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked it, but I understand why a lot of people
next
didn't.
week, yeah.
So yeah, that was full, Alex. If you've enjoyed, if this was your first one, because I think we might get a few first times because it's Star Wars. And you like conspiracies and weird things and all that, stick around and subscribe to us, listen.
Leave us a review.
On the reg.
Follow our page.
As this comes out...
Cutting to the bun, the post-truth apocalypse.
Yes, on Facebook. As this comes out, will our most recent episode to the listeners still be Bohemian Grove?
It will be.
Yeah, so go back, listen to that one to get a taste of what we usually do, and come back next week for part 2. It's been fun, gentlemen.
Yeah.
I like talking about Star Wars.
It's been awesome. So, let's say that I've been Ben, and don't drink the favourite and don't join a cult.
I'm Gaz, free Biff Tannen. Look for my comic book, Space Force, Intergalactic Fascists
We've
on
put
Amazon.
that enough.
And,
I gave you 2.
Once again, that's Space Force, Intergalactic Fascists on Amazon. Free Biff Tannen. See you next week.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the Force be with you always.
Oh, I can't say jack shit this week.
He's actually started his course. Well done, Mike.
You both owe me some money.
Mother.